Almost forgot to hit record.
Bro,
No, I remembered though.
that's good.
Picking up right where we left off in Rage.
It pretty much is the exact scene and everything.
We made a blind jump. How did they?
Why is it so quiet?
I'm not part of your Halo party, by the way. If
Oh, really?
started. Yeah. Oh.
Hold on. Hold on. I
You
did that
keep-
yesterday too.
You did this the last time.
I don't know why. I just like assume you're in there.
Well, it's like because I'm part of your party through Xbox, but not on the game.
Yeah.
So I get like you already did invite me, and I joined you. But I get why you're like, no, that part's done in your mind, maybe.
I appreciate it.
Uh,
Alright. That's fine. I missed like the
Especially-
first 2 seconds of the recording anyway.
There you go. I heard you coughing as you got on, so maybe you're a little bit more spacey for various reasons.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
Ugh.
This cutscene's not too long.
All I need to know.
No, I'm down to watch it. It's also like,
I think we both know the
I
answer
don't know,
to that.
like nostalgia and just
Yeah.
it sets the whole journey off, you know?
Well, exactly. If
That's-
we're playing
uh,
through all of them, we might as well watch them.
Enjoy the story of it, yeah. And we even did it chronologically, I feel like, because that's the most story appropriate way to do it.
Yep.
Even though we're gonna talk through a lot of these cutscenes, I'm sure, but
We were running dark. Yes.
Until
You could always put in subtitles.
No one could have missed the hole we tore in subspace.
I feel like part of like watching a movie or watching even playing through an old game with
They were
a
waiting
friend
for us on the far side of the planet.
is being able to talk during it and not piss each other off. Like
Our fighters are
having
mopping
those
up the
friends
last
who you know
of
it's
the econ
okay
footage
to like
now, nothing
when
serious.
to talk to during stuff like this.
But I've
True.
isolated approach signatures for multiple
Like
ceasefire
Joelle told me,
flash
she hates
battlefields,
watching
making
like
3
sports
capital ships
games
per
with my
crew.
mom.
And in
She
about
doesn't know when to
90
shut up.
seconds,
She doesn't
they'll
know
be
when to
all
like,
over
oh my
us.
god, something's happening.
Well, that's
Yeah.
it then.
Yeah.
Even worse,
Bring the
sometimes
ship
in like
back up
hockey,
to
she'll like tell the,
combat
she gets excited, she's like shoot, but it's the other team that has the puck. And I'm like, no, like don't, can't do that. Like you're,
Cortana.
Yeah, I think you were saying that last time.
yeah,
That's funny.
like
Let's give our old friend.
it's funny. Like that's just a little bit superstition. I feel like, but it's jarring when you're with someone who's like unintentionally rooting for their team.
Yeah,
But-
seriously.
Like, I told her, I was like, I hope I'm not annoying when we're watching like games together, because I know we talk a lot. She's like, no, but you know when to talk. Like, you shut up if they're about
That's
to make a
different,
goal,
yeah.
Or, like, if it's a tense moment or something.
Well, it's
like-
supposed to be a social experience. If you're watching it with somebody.
She's also like, you know how to root. Like, you know when the other team has the puck, or when, we're on defense or offense. I feel like that's also just people who aren't hardcore sports fans can be frustrating to watch a team you love with, because they're just like watching the game, they don't care as much about the team. So they'll be like, wow, that was a cool play, and you'll be like, yeah, but we didn't want that to happen. Like,
Yeah.
I really wish it hadn't been a good play. Like, like sure, but like let's not talk about it anymore.
We're not gonna let them have it. What we will let them have is a belly full of lead and a pool of their own blood to drown in. Am I right, Marines? Sir, yes, sir. Damn right I am. Now move it out. Double time.
Attention all personnel. We are re-engaging the enemy. External and internal contact imminent.
All you greenhorns.
Johnson's great because he's such like a cliche, but no one has a problem with it. Just like grumpy older black sergeant in the army.
It's like the cliche. He
Yeah.
created the cliche.
I don't know. There's like I feel like he's kind of based off of older cliches, but
I guess that's
I mean
true
for the
from the
modern
movies.
generation for sure. Like, he's definitely kind of become part of that just lore. Like they got to it first to some degree. It's like how you can forgive like fantasy authors in like the 80s and 90s for using like "I am the storm" as a line. Now
Yeah.
it's like, dude, like no, like now you're just like they use that in like corny like girl dramas now.
Well, it's like in Wonder Woman at the end when Ares literally yells, "I will destroy you." It's like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, that's a little just like on my nose, man. I mean, that one the third act of that movie kind of like dragged me down. I thought.
That battle could have been way better.
That's something that I don't like. If you yell that at someone in a battle, it's a little like, yeah, obviously, but like, you know, it's like saying, "I'm gonna kill you" while you're fighting someone. Like, you know, like I get it. Like, just, yeah, obviously you're trying to do that right now. I kind of figured that out without you telling me.
Yeah.
But it's something that people do, or at least I buy that people do.
Which graphics are you on right now?
I'm on the newer graphics right now.
I like
What
going
about you?
back and forth.
Me too.
Cutscene.
Captain Keys. Good to see you, Master Chief. Things aren't going well.
I feel like Wonder Woman was one of those comic book movies though, where like the first video, like the first hour or so was like really good, and like they're setting up something really cool, and then it just turns into this like corny like fucking shit fest at the end.
Thanks to your driving, yes.
So you did.
Say that
I
again.
don't know. Like, there's a lot of superhero movies. Where, like, it seems like they're setting up something pretty cool, and you're enjoying it, and then the end is just like really corny and shit.
Yeah.
Captain, the cannon was my last offensive option.
It's
Because
hard to
that's
stick the
what,
landing.
I'm
The last
initiating
few
cold protocol
X-Men
removal.
movies Fox made,
We're abandoning
like
the
they didn't start out bad.
That means you too,
Like I was
Cortana.
like, all right, they
Well,
have
you
something
do
here.
what? Go down
Watch
with the
this,
ship?
and then they just
In a
like
manner of speaking.
take a hard
The
like
object we
left
found,
turn
I'm
into
gonna try
like
and land
back.
the autumn on it.
True.
You know,
All due
like
respect, sir, this war has
I liked the last X-Men's movie that I made other than Logan was that I liked was Days of Future Past.
Destruction or capture
Days of
of
Future
shipboard
Past was
AI
good,
is absolutely
but then after that,
necessary.
like Apocalypse was not that good,
No.
and I didn't even see Dark Phoenix honestly, but I know it didn't get any good positive feedback really.
Aye, sir.
Something that's been getting to me when I watch movies, and you even see it in like some of the movies I like Infinity War and stuff, but is when they have villains do something that's just like absurdly broken and then never use it again. I'm not a fan of that anymore.
Yeah. What do you see that in Infinity War that he
The autumn will
does?
continue to see
Once Thanos has the couple stones to start, I mean, he just like, I don't know. He doesn't really like. There's that scene with the Guardians of the Galaxy where he alters reality and he fucks them all up, and then for some reason they just go back to normal, and then he just
Yeah.
doesn't use that again, really.
Yank me.
Yeah, I feel like you see him use the Reality Stone in coordination with other stuff, but you would think he'd just like paralyze all the Avengers and Guardians like right there,
Yep.
and then just be like, yeah, sorry, give me the time stone.
I don't understand why he left.
Your architecture is
I
All
feel
of
like he
them
kind
alive.
of has to like somehow get Doctor Strange to give up the time stone though, so he can't just like incapacitate them all, because then Doctor Strange won't even be able to.
That's true, but I'm talking
Kinda
about the
has to,
encounter.
like, threaten like someone to make Doctor Strange be like, okay,
It's just the Guardians of the Galaxy in the encounter I'm talking about.
at the end, yeah. The reason he leaves them alive is if they killed off every Guardian of the Galaxy right there, we would have been pissed. Like that's the only reason.
Well, sure. Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Those Marines could use some help,
Like,
Chief. Do what you
which
do
is
best.
like, don't get your characters into situations they can't survive, you know, like, and then let them live out of it. Like you can do that very occasionally and have, you know, someone show up, you know, but everybody knows that's gonna happen, you know. Your main character's pinned to the ground and the guy's over them with a sword or a rock, or you know they're about to strike the fatal blow,
Yeah.
and then their friend comes up from behind and do the back of their head, you know, like that scene is in a lot of different things. Essentially, that's like, you can only get away with that so much. That's why everybody loved Game of Thrones. Because like in the moment when you're like, all right, Ari's gonna somehow like fight all these soldiers off and save Ned, or like everyone's gonna show up. Nope.
Yeah. And it
Yeah,
wasn't
it's
even like
it's
a
so
lot
refreshing.
of people. Yeah, a lot of people subvert expectations these days in a predictable way too, which is really frustrating. But Game of Thrones didn't do it that way at all.
Although now everybody's trying to mimic Game of Thrones, so they
It's
have
true.
that, like seemingly main character that gets killed off. But a lot of shows are afraid to do it to the degree that Game of Thrones did.
It's true.
And that's only because George R. R. Martin wrote the book for them.
They're using our lifeboat airlock.
Did you get your
to touch the
overshield?
watercraft. We go out and they come
No, I
in.
totally forgot about that.
Wow,
I
have
don't
you even
have-
played this game?
I had the
You had what?
newer guy. I looked in there and I was like, oh, there's nothing to go.
Okay, now it's way too loud. I don't understand what's going on with the volume and the cutscenes.
Dude, sometimes I really have trouble balancing the volume between my you and the game on my headset.
Yeah.
It's very frustrating.
Honestly, I'm on my computer in the Xbox party, and it makes it way easier. Because there's an actual way to turn you up and down.
That's cool. So you're playing on your computer right
No, I'm on my Xbox.
now. Okay. But it's plugged in through your computer.
My Xbox is going through. I think I just got stuck. Nope, it ain't.
No, it missed your foot. It was close, but it went.
It's going through a capture card to my TV through my computer.
Okay.
Or not through my computer, but through the capture card.
But you're in the Xbox party with me on your computer.
Correct.
Okay, I got you. I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
I can see how that was confusing though.
Well, because I know you can sign into your Xbox account on a PC and play a lot of games through Game Pass.
Yep, yep.
Um,
They've kind of been preferring to do that actually, more than not.
yeah, I don't blame you with the expensive PC. Thing about I feel like the PC is, even though I don't know, the console in some ways can be equivalent. As far as just what games are built to be able to do and stuff. But when you have the good PC that can do those crazy, ridiculous games that you could only do if you have that nice PC, push it to its absolute limit,
Yeah.
you have that center for all your other games too. You could play a lot of games just from your PC without having to switch around,
Yep.
which is really convenient.
I'm just glad I have all the consoles. It makes it a lot easier to play different stuff. And PC.
Yeah, whenever
obviously.
people talk about, obviously it's a little bit of entitlement. It's hard to afford these really expensive consoles. You kind
Yeah.
of do have to pick sometimes. But I'm if I can, I always try to get all of them.
Eventually,
And
yeah.
I can play every game, Yeah, sometimes it takes me even a few years before I have. I never even got a PlayStation 3. It took me. I only had my PlayStation 4 for 2 years before the PlayStation 5 came out.
Yeah, same here.
So.
I never owned a PS2 either until I bought one later in life.
Yeah, I was lucky enough my parents got me a PS2.
I had a GameCube, which I
But I
didn't
never
fully
got a
appreciate
GameCube.
enough, yeah.
Yeah, I had an Xbox and a PS2, but the last Nintendo I got before I bought my Switch was the N64.
Honestly, my parents got me a GameCube, and I experienced some of the best games ever made on it. But at the time, all I could think about was how I didn't have an Xbox or a PlayStation.
I remember.
That's not
you
true, I
lent
enjoyed
me-
it, but...
Yeah, you lent me your GameCube at one point though, because you had an Xbox and you were just playing all your games. You're like, the shit out of that. You're like, I'm not even using this.
That's true. I
So
do
that's
remember
that was cool because I got to play some of the GameCube games I missed out on.
Yeah.
Um,
that. Metroid Prime, probably my favorite.
yeah, Metroid Prime. I mean, I like Metroid Prime. I mean, I like Metroid Prime. 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 I like
Wow.
That was shitty. Also, I wish I'd bought, like, at one point, you could get a GameCube for like $20 at like Game Force. And I wish I'd just gone and bought one at that point.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause now they're like collector's items. Like, right after the Wii came out, though, those things were cursed. I should have just gotten one then. Like, what was I spending my money on back then? I had $20 and I couldn't spend 20. Yeah.
That's
I
why
didn't have $20 to buy a GameCube.
I've never understood people that go and trade all their stuff in so they can buy new stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
I mean,
stuff
again,
that you don't think you
I think-
want.
I agree with you, and I think also it's speaking from a place of entitlement where, like, you know, sometimes you really want the new system, so you're willing to trade in for it because that's the only way you'll be able to afford it.
I don't agree with that though. It's not like I'm rich. I don't.
But see, I guess it's also priorities.
Yeah.
Where I would rather. Just
I
keep
didn't
my
have
system
2
and
kids when I was 22 either.
I'll play my old games on it until I can afford the new system.
Covenant,
So that's
on the
how
landing
I
above us.
approach that, and other people feel differently.
Yeah.
Like, I remember Willie, it was like every few months he'd go trade in every video game he owned to get a different system. Because that's what he wanted to play at the time. And
Oh,
that's just like, it worked for him. Like,
You
that
lose
was
money
like-
on that though.
You do end up, I think, losing throughout. But,
Especially considering how they appreciate and value most of the time. Eventually.
right, it's like I said, at a certain point, that, like, easier, cheaper console to get will become a collector's item. And suddenly, you'll wish you still had it to play that game you love that you can't play anymore.
Yeah. Or just to sell if you want money. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like I've been having fun playing some older video games, and I had to kind of a hard time getting someone to install my computer because the discs were so old and a little beaten up, you know. Like I had to go online, and luckily I was able to kind of find probably illegal, but I don't care. You know, like downloads of those files that I was missing and couldn't get through the discs.
This dude is juking the shit out of me. Stop moving. Thank you.
We softened him up for a minute. I was able to just hose him down. But like, there's a lot of old games and especially systems that like it'll be hard to even play those games soon.
Yeah.
Like think about like
Especially
playing
Nintendo.
That's what I was gonna say. Like we've been talking about GameCube and N64. Like those worked better on analog. At least the N64, and like I still have my dad's NES, you know. But
Yeah, I still have a NES too.
and I have a little, like I have not a little, big ass heavy tube analog TV because that's the only way to play them.
Yeah,
It looks
I
good. 'Cause my new TV is just like too janky.
I foolishly got rid of my tube TV. I'm gonna have to get another
But-
one.
The problem is that thing's getting so old when you turn it on, it like whines and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, like I almost hate playing on it, but only way you can play Duck Hunt, like you can't.
It's
even
a
play
fun
Duck Hunt on a digital
experience.
TV.
Just because of the way it's
and, like-
designed, I didn't know.
A lot of yeah. I think the Nintendo Switch could maybe figure out a way to do that.
I think Nintendo could be way better about their backwards compatibility.
Nintendo, yeah, they have the best library, arguably, to do that
Yeah,
with. Or
they could
the
make
best
so much more
one-
money.
And I'm biased here. The one that's the best
Warning,
to save
blast doors closing.
retroactively, I would say, as far as gaming history goes.
Follow the nav point. It will lead
Like-
you to an open.
Yeah,
They have some of the most classic titles. Like, as much as other titles have become as much talking points, like Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong.
they could make a
Like-
re-release of like a remastered Ocarina of Time, and I bet you they could sell it for $160 and people would still buy it.
People would pay lots of money for that, dude.
I'd buy it. I'd hate them
I
for
would-
making me spend $160.
Yeah, I think I told you the other day, like, I would spend like hundreds of dollars on certain remakes of older video games, and they keep remaking games from like 2010 and onward, where the graphics were already fairly decent, you know, like
Yeah,
they weren't what they are now. No, I'm not saying that at all, but like they were pretty good. Like I wasn't complaining about graphics then. I like, you know, Like that's when I feel like, started getting to the point where old games became unplayable because their graphics were so bad. Once you got to like,
But that's what I've found is that, like, I'm able to go back and play old games, even old games that I didn't play when I was younger, just because, like, it doesn't bug me the way that it would someone else. The way that I imagine it,
I agree.
it's like my dad always wants to watch these black and white movies. And for whatever reason, my brain just, like, hates watching black and white movies. I can get into them sometimes, but...
You kind of forget you're watching, I feel like, after you've watched for a while. But then you just, like, notice it again, and it's annoying. I feel you.
Looks like the Covenant wanted to catch you.
What's up, elites? Are you looking for me? Yeah, that's what I thought.
But I also think there are some gamers out there who I think just take graphics more seriously than I do.
Yeah.
Like, graphics have always been more of a secondary thing.
I want them to
Even
look
at
good, but they don't have to be like...
Graphics comes third for me, I would say.
I prefer art styles over, like, realism. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. That's why Switch does well.
Yeah.
But it's like, if you have, first of all, good gameplay, I would say it's A.
Yeah, 100%.
I can tolerate mediocre gameplay if you've got a good story, which is the second most important thing. That's kind of what I was just talking about when I was talking to you last. I was playing through Assassin's Creed 3. And, like, the story is really good. And it also is kind of cool to finish out kind of the Canway story. Like, after playing, which are the later games, but Black Flag and Rogue, and seeing more Haytham and especially Edward.
Yeah.
It's cool to play as Edward's grandson, kind of like do justice for the family name.
Yeah, that's fair.
But
you were
like,
playing Odyssey,
yeah, I
some point.
beat 3 and I started Odyssey because I never I started that when it came out and I never got that far.
Yeah, I haven't played anything after.
Those games are too big.
Yeah.
Like,
Actually, I played
insane.
some Valhalla, but I never finished it.
Like, the problem with Assassin's Creed 2 is it was never like a full open world RPG, which make it felt more manageable to get 100%. And now they have these open worlds, and I still feel like I want to get 100% because it's an Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah.
It's just too daunting, you know?
There's
They're kinda
way
going
too
back
much.
to
I
their old
completely
formula,
agree.
it looks like, with their newer games.
It's just filler too. That's the other problem. It's not even content I want to go find.
Yeah, I mean, some of it's fun. Like,
But there's only gems littered amongst the shit.
How much more abuse
Like,
you got 'em.
yeah,
I don't
it's,
know.
it's a lot of stuff that you could leave out, and I wouldn't care.
It's the same
like-
thing with the Far Cry games.
A lot of games suffer from
Coincidentally,
this today, I
yeah.
believe. You know, like, it's just... I think they saw in some early 2010 games, you know, like Skyrim especially, and just the open world being really embraced, and they wanted to run with that.
Yeah.
I love an open world game, but it only works in certain cases.
Well, it
Without
needs to
even
be a
arcades,
world you
uh,
want to explore. Like, I've watched some
Exactly.
very interesting videos on why some open world video games work and some don't, like Elden Ring, for instance.
So I would argue, like,
Now would be
so
a very
games
good
like
time to
Assassin's
leave.
Creed and even Red Dead Redemption, as much as I love them, shouldn't be open world to the point they are, because there's not like the fun about the open world is you could go anywhere and do anything, and that works for certain types of games,
But
like
at least-
Skyrim and Elden Ring, where you're more of just an adventurer and wanderer.
Yeah.
You know, like,
Red Dead
It's-
feels much more like a living, breathing world than Assassin's
Oh,
Creed,
yeah.
though.
that's why I would argue in the case, like, I love Red Dead, and they did a really good job, and it's because they hyper-focused on the cowboy and the outlaw cowboy aspect, so everything in that world is approached from that angle. I
Mhm.
think that's why it works so well.
I mean, I
because
think
they-
it's a
they approached
testament-
it, you know,
Their fast travel system is a testament to how good their game is, because people still played it, even though you couldn't fucking fast travel for so
without going
long.
to a train.
No, you can
Um,
get it in your camp, but...
That's true, you can't get it, but even then, you still have to like set up camp.
And you have to figure that out on your own.
Mm-hmm.
Sure you wouldn't rather take a seat?
Also, if you go into cinematic mode, you could just have your horse take you to your waypoint, but they don't tell you that.
Yeah, that's also true.
I figured that out. 'Cause
That
sometimes
also
you, like,
screws you
stab
over
my horse.
sometimes, though.
Sometimes you get ambushed while you're like right in the middle of something else. Like, oh, where's the controller? Uh,
Exactly.
yeah, but I mean, hey, that could, like that, a lot of games let you do that, and that can happen. You know.
We're coming in too fast.
Like one thing for the newer Assassin's Creed that I like is you can do that, and then you have like the bird that you can send up and like scouts for you. Especially when you're
Yeah.
just like wandering looking for supplies or you know like just extra stuff. You could just like kind of have your horse be riding along and send the bird up
Chief?
to scout ahead for you.
Chief, can you hear me?
Sometimes you ride into trouble and then
Blast.
suddenly you like
Are
get
you
yanked out of
alright?
the bird and you're like, wait,
Can you
what's
move?
going on?
Yeah.
Somebody like swinging their sword at you, you're like, oh, that's what's going on.
There's nothing
Yeah.
we can do. Warning. I detected multiple
Oh, I'm
drop
looking
ships
forward to
on
playing
approach.
those on the
I
channel.
recommend moving into those hills.
Red Dead
They're good
2 is
games.
gonna be a really long
Covenant will lead
playthrough.
everyone aboard this
You
ship.
kind of also, I feel like if you're gonna do Red Dead 2,
Alert,
yeah, then
Covenant
just do
drop
Red
ship
Dead 1
inbound.
or
I will,
do
yeah.
Red Dead 1 and then 2.
I
Yeah.
recommend
Kinda
immediate evasion.
Because the story is 2 than 1. But
Stick
too
out
bad we're
these
never gonna get a 1 remaster
Banshees.
like we were supposed to. Stupid Rockstar.
That'd be so cool, dude.
Dude, you don't even have to do anything special with it. Like, you all just have to stick some newer graphics on it and it'd be amazing. Like,
Oh, we killed the
Nice.
elite. Nice.
dude, that was beautiful. I barely even shot him, so that's mostly you.
That had to have been
I
both
wonder
of
if you
us.
could get in this Banshee. Probably not. I
can't.
probably thought about that.
There's no you can flip it, but there's no physics for flying it.
Yeah, I mean, I was curious because you can later in this game.
Oh, I
It's
guess
got
you can. Yeah,
a
that's
flyable
right. That's
vehicle.
right.
Yeah.
But I've definitely
But-
tried getting in these before because I've been able to do
Yeah.
that before.
Yeah, I was
Not
gonna
on
say,
purpose,
They probably
though,
kind
I
of
don't
thought of that.
I don't
just
think
for,
the
like-
elites in the Banshees have shields. For some reason, that feels right to me. I
Yeah,
think
because
that's
you didn't. It didn't even seem like you shot him that much. Like,
Yeah.
the Banshee was almost untouched. I
Yeah.
think the Banshee would have been a little more damaged if you'd shot him more.
You'd think so.
But yeah, as I was just saying, graphics are like a hard third after gameplay and story. And
Yeah,
it's just like
Definitely.
the thing about open world games is sometimes you lose that story, and they may have like cool graphics and fun gameplay.
As long
But,
as we're
like-
not talking about like immersion
Reading a
breaking
lifeboat
stuff.
beacon over the next hill. We should check
You know what I
to see
mean?
if
But
there are
that's
any
more like
progress.
gameplay issues than graphics
Yeah.
sometimes. Or
Yeah,
most
well,
of
and
the time.
sometimes you do get where it's just like an object doesn't load or something, but that's never usually. That's
Well, that's
more just
different.
like
That's yeah.
just a one-time error.
It's like I don't know if you saw when Cyberpunk first came out, but that was a notoriously bad launch for
Oh,
a
man.
single-player game.
That's a game I still don't know if I'll ever play just because of how bad the launch was.
I will tell you,
It's funny.
it's
'cause I
pretty
knew,
great,
like,
dude.
They struggled for years to release that game.
They did, yeah.
That was, and it's like kind of a showcase of like as much as the demand and people are getting upset, like give it its time, dude.
Yeah.
They also kept giving it its time, and it felt like nothing was happening.
Well, yeah, they delayed it, and then when they finally released it, it still wasn't ready. The
So,
problem was that they tried to make it for the previous generation. If they had just released it as a new generation game, it would have been fine. They just wouldn't have made it as much money right out the gate. But they've actually
But
updated it a lot
I
since
feel like
it
the
came out.
problem is, the thing is that with the bad release, they probably still didn't release much money out of the game.
Yeah.
So
I had
that's
a
winner for you.
the like really high-end Xbox One, and I got it when it first came out, and I actually happened to be I was either on vacation or I was sick. I can't remember which one, but I was out from work for like
I
at
think
least a
you're
week.
probably out. It was like during the COVID era.
That
like,
was
you kept
during
getting out.
December. It might have been
COVID
COVID.
scares.
Yeah, it might have been. But it worked pretty well for me. Like there was some laughably bad stuff, like the police, for instance. I don't know if you saw that, but they literally couldn't get in cars, so the only cop cars you saw were just like parked. And then if the cops started to chase you, you could literally just drive away or run away, and they couldn't chase
Like,
you.
he ran away fast enough.
Yeah,
It's like-
it was actually crazy. They've since updated that. They have cop cars now, they'll chase you and stuff. But the world that they made, Roy, is amazing. It is one of the coolest worlds I've ever seen in any video game.
See, so that's what I was gonna say. Because honestly, like the genre itself is not one I'm like super attracted to necessarily. Like, kind of reminds me of like GTA to some degree, where you're kind of in this sandbox city, right?
I would
Like,
compare it more to, like, I almost want to say like a Crackdown GTA mix.
okay. So yeah, and that's I guess why, because it's not GTA. Like I'm not
No.
saying that. Because when I first saw things about it, I was like, okay, this looks like something I might play more than like you know, the next GTA 5.
Yeah. Well, because in
Um,
Grand Theft Auto is just set in the real world. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm gonna play the shit out of GTA 6, but I much prefer fictional fantasy worlds.
right. But then it was just like, I mean, I'm not gonna like play a game I was already kind of unsure about if it looks that shitty.
Yeah,
And I think
it's
I've
good
heard
now,
a
though.
lot that they've really made an effort to, you know.
The other
improve
thing
it.
is you have the
So,
good, you
I
have a
might give it a
Series
shot.
X, so it'll actually
Series, I
work
have all the good consoles for it.
optimally. Yeah, I think you'd like it. Obviously, there's a bunch of games on your list. I know that, but it's a fucking sweet game.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like my list never gets played in the order it should, so there's no reason I can't think about it.
That's fair.
Like, I had no intention of getting into Assassin's Creed, and then I don't know. I must have like had a dream about like I don't know. I woke up thinking about Assassin's Creed 4 and just the whole like Kenway storyline. I was like, I'm gonna go play some Assassin's Creed.
I'm dead. Yeah, I mean, I don't blame you. I
Uh-huh.
love doing that, man. Gut feelings are the way to go.
I think what it was is I was reading about the new Assassin's Creed game. And they were like, someone was saying they want like another trilogy, like the Ezio trilogy. Like, I feel like they've done other like kind of sequential stories through games though since then.
Yeah.
And that was the first one I thought it was like, you know, after Ezio we got Connor Kenway, and they kind of fleshed out his story a lot more, not in him himself. Which I honestly wouldn't even mind revisiting that character because he was still relatively young at the end of Assassin's Creed 3. But
That's
I
true.
doubt we'll get that game. But the whole family story was actually pretty intriguing.
I think that they should just make another Assassin's Creed 4 game. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think
They
they.
did. Did you ever play Rogue?
I did not play Rogue.
That game was cool. That's the one where you play as an assassin who like turns into a Templar.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll have
That
to
one
check
was
that
really
one out.
fun. It's not as long as the Assassin. It's like kind of a one-off. Like it's only half as long as Assassin's Creed 4, but it's kind of the same. Like I'm creating the word for it. Like it's basically the same mechanics and everything. Like,
I gotcha. That's the one that came out.
It came out right before Unity, which is when they really
That was the
started
one
going
that
over
was
to the-
weird. But that came out 360 era, right?
Yeah, Unity came out 360 like right on like maybe right before, right as Xbox One was coming out.
Well, because I know they released
Or no, it's after Xbox One. came out.
Assassin's Creed
they're still
4
making
released when
everything for
Xbox One was
360.
out. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Unity was a little time later. Unity was where they really started doing the more like realistic approach to the like combat system. So you couldn't just like counter fight your way through like 20 guys.
Yeah.
Um,
That was so much fun, though. Man.
That was so much fun. I don't know. There was other ganky things like
Yeah.
in Unity you could hide around a corner and like stab a guy, and like even if another guy was 5 feet away from you and saw it, by the time he got to you, he would have forgotten enough that he just saw his friend murdered in front of
More
him.
lifeboats.
where you
Must
could
have
just
been the
corner
wind.
assassinate him as well. Yeah,
Those
like
lifeboats
it
make
wouldn't
it
immediately
down.
trigger
Heaven or
combat.
Right
Like,
on top
Yeah.
of them.
yeah.
I'm gonna
They
get in
kind
the
of
ship.
Found a hard balance between that. 'Cause, dude, Assassin's Creed 3, everything you do triggers combat, man. Like, you'll be behind, like, in a bush behind a bunch of crates, killing one dude, like, 50 feet away from anybody else, and they'll still be like, ah, this guy, oh my god, and the whole camp will come after you. Like, it was really frustrating. But I feel like they kind of overbalanced a little bit, especially by Unity.
Damn it, I fucked it up. Okay, give me 30 seconds, I'll be right back. Okay, back.
Alright. I need, like, a minute. Sorry.
You have 45 seconds.
The timer I'm looking at says differently. It says
I got nothing.
I can give you like 45 seconds of
Survivors will
gameplay, and
probably
then I
stay
maybe
close to their
like
emergency
30 seconds
beacons.
after that.
We
I'm
need
just
to
gonna
find
run
where
there.
Lad was landed.
Who needs you? Where are you? Wait, come back.
I'm gonna get about 30 seconds ahead of you. Wish there was a way to look behind you without like looking behind me, so I can keep driving forward when you get close.
You bastard. Get back here.
Alright, almost ready. Wow, I went really high.
Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah. It's like, where did you go? Well, I'll go get the warthog.
I was kind of facing the other way, but yeah, I was about at the edge of the cliff there.
Wow.
So basically you threw me up to
This cave is not
and
a
had me
natural
jump off
formation.
the cliff.
Someone built
Oh, I dropped my
so it
pistol.
must lead
Can you pull forward a bit?
Yeah, sorry.
There we go. Perfect.
I know.
I've hacked into the Covenant battle network.
As much as I don't
Broadcasting tactical
enjoy
data
their
on
newer
unencrypted
games as much,
channels.
I feel like Assassin's Creed is
Show
a
them who they're
franchise I
dealing
will
with.
always love.
I agree.
Master Chief, I'm going to use
I
your
remember
suit's
when 2
transpond
came out
system to
and
monitor
like
their
playing
chatter.
shit out of that. Remember even that you didn't have it yet, so while I was at work you would borrow my disc from me so you could play it.
Play which one?
Assassin's Creed 2,
Yeah, yeah, sounds about
when it
right.
like very first came out. And I would be like, that's fine, but like the moment I get off work, I want it back, because like I want to go play this fucking game.
Yeah.
Like fair enough, like.
That was a pretty fun game. I played the shit out of the first one, too.
That's what I was about to say, dude. As repetitive as that game was, and it was repetitive, I played.
It didn't
the
feel
shit
like
out
it
of
at the
that game.
time, though, because that
It
was
did
so
not.
revolutionary.
It was such a cool game, and you never played exactly. You never played anything quite like it.
I still remember when one of the people, like one of the guys I was in math with, was like a year above me, and he showed me the trailer for the newest for Assassin's Creed, and I was like, "Holy shit, that looks so cool!" I got it as soon as it
Yeah.
came out. Yeah, I've got a lot of
Yeah.
good memories of that game.
But I remember I got it as soon as it came out, and that was one of the weekends that my parents took us up to the condo at Keystone. So I took the Xbox with me because I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm playing this game the whole time."
Yeah.
And dude, my sister like accidentally kicked the Xbox as she was walking by because I just had it out on the floor, and it scratched the disc.
Oh no. Yeah, I remember
Um,
that being a thing with the 360.
Yeah. Well, it was only because she, you know, got bumped, which was both of our faults. Like,
No, yeah, I'm
she
not
shouldn't have had
like.
it just on the
I'm
floor.
just saying. I remember
Um,
fucking up my discs doing
Yeah.
that.
So I couldn't get, like, if I left the little city that you start in, the game would crash.
Damn.
So I literally spent that whole weekend just running on that little city, doing every little thing you could do in that little city, and just like picking fights with guards and getting really good at the combat. And as soon as we got back into town, I like convinced my parents to go get me a different copy of the game and like paid them back for it. Like,
Nice.
I mean, like my dad watched me at one point, but like 'cause I like woke up early and on the morning we left and us playing, and he was like, I watched him run this little guy around that city for like 3 hours. Like, that poor dude must have been exhausted.
The first, yeah. So like literally in the assassin area.
Yeah, like in the assassin's like home.
Yeah,
Area,
yeah.
like that tiny little city, which felt pretty big. And then you realize, oh wait, there's much bigger cities to be explored.
True.
But so I don't know if you remember that first game. All you really did, you'd get to the city, you'd find a viewpoint, you'd do missions that were either like pickpocketing or eavesdropping,
I do remember
and
that.
then you'd go assassinate the guy.
Yeah.
Like that was it. That was
It was
all
Assassin's
you did.
Creed.
Yeah. I mean, it made sense. It was cool. And then Assassin's Creed 2 definitely expanded on that. Where, like,
Well, and there
you
was
did
a whole
those
shit
types
with
of
the
things,
apple.
But there was actually, yeah, and then at the end you fight over the apple, and the mentor betrays you. Again, it was a good story. Like,
There's new traffic on the
Yeah.
Cabinet Battle Network.
I was into
then you had the
Assassin's Creed
modern
story
day-
until
Crew made it off
like
the
Revelations
island.
is when I was started
The
being
captain
like,
really
what
gave
is
them
fucking
hell.
going on?
Revelations got janky.
We can find
And that's when they
Captain
made,
Hughes
and then,
the
but then
other
4 brought it
survivors.
back.
We
4 was
have
like,
a
alright,
chance to
I'm back
coordinate
in
an
on
effective
this.
resistance.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it's Revelations and then 3, which 3 was fun, but again, you know, it had janky. Like that's when they started changing up the gameplay, and it was really janky, and they started adding in more of the like fleets economic system basically from like Assassin's Creed 4, but it wasn't really that well developed yet. And, like, even the boat combat was good, but like
Boat combat was great. Oh wait, and which one?
Assassin's Creed 3.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I mean, it was good enough that they based the game off of it for Assassin's Creed 4.
It's true.
But it was. Do you want to just go up here first, or?
Let me get this sniper
Oh, you want
rifle.
to get the sniper? That's right. Here. I thought that was like further down. Wait, I'm right behind you.
Oh.
I get a pistol and a med pack. But yeah, dude, I feel like Revelations and 3 kind of have people questioning the franchise, and then they made Black Flag, and everyone was like on board again. It's like, alright.
Yeah, man. Black Flag was
Black
so
Flag
cool.
was awesome.
I explored like
Since then, it's been
everything
hit
in
and
Black
miss.
Flag.
I've 100% Black Flag multiple times.
Yeah.
Like every
Dude, the
time I pick up the
legendary
game, I
ship
have
battles were so cool.
to. So fun. I wish they'd let you replay those memories.
I agree.
So you should go play Rogue if you never did, because they have another set of legendary battles in those. Like it's all the same, you know. You get the ship, but it's very similar combat, slightly updated a little bit. Like you get some different weapons and stuff,
Yeah.
but it's almost the exact same. Like
I mean, I'm gonna.
You're
My
on the
channel's
quest to
about
play every
playing.
game.
Yeah. So I'll get there. I want to throw in some games that aren't like my favorite games of all time. Before, like, I don't want to just blow through every good game I know. You know.
right.
But there's so many.
Right.
That's the thing. It doesn't really matter too much.
I feel like you also want to find the games that people are like
Let me get this
interested
health
in,
back.
which is kind of the ones that you like to play, so it works out.
True. Well, I'm gonna do my best to be like current with stuff that's coming out while still uploading this other stuff.
Like playing the older school stuff.
Yeah. Like,
So, yeah,
did I
noticed
tell
switch
you?
between like playing Oblivion and like Overwatch 2?
Yeah.
And some other games, you know, like
Yeah, I just gotta jump around. I had my first video do like okay on YouTube.
nice.
Yeah, it's
Is
got
it
like
the Goat Bowl one, or is it a different one?
it's Overwatch 2 one actually. It's a clip of me playing Overwatch 2. I put some sound in. And
go.
it's gotten 2.5 thousand views, which is a lot for me.
Nice, dude. That's dope.
Yeah, thank you. Got me 1 subscriber, which is more than 0.
We should search the interior of
Hey,
the structure
that's-
before we leave.
You gotta start small. I feel like.
That's
you
what
know?
I'm saying. Yeah.
Yeah, it's honestly every time I see anybody who's like streaming or making any kind of content, they're like, hit that like and subscribe, guys. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna fucking do that. You wish.
No, I know what you mean.
Like,
And that's why I
dude,
try not
cut
to
the
say it
5
often.
seconds of the video where you like showed me what I needed to know, and then I closed the tab. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, but, you know, like.
I honestly,
I know, I
since
try
I
to take-
started,
Try to appreciate people more, but
well, see, that's what I was about to say. Since I started making videos, I've been much more aware of that, and like whenever it recommends like a small creator or something, I'll just like give them a view and subscribe and give them a like or something, just for the karma.
I'll at least give it a like if it helped me. I don't subscribe to anything, dude. I'll need all your food.
You and everybody
video game
else.
videos coming in at me.
That's why a lot of
Sorry.
people are like that. But the thing
You
is,
have
you
to
can
have-
subscribe without getting that. You have to hit the bell for that to happen.
It's probably true.
It is true. I promise.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't like use YouTube in that way. Like, I don't go look at like my subscribed videos and be like, oh,
Yeah.
what did they release to watch? You know.
Yeah,
I think
and that's
that's
fair.
the
Clear the
problem.
area before
Is
the
a lot of
dropship
people aren't
arrives.
using YouTube in that way. Like a lot of people are, where they actually do like to just find content and watch it on YouTube. But a lot of people are just going to get the little bit of info they need and then leaving.
See, but you're coming at it from a perspective of like you go there to search for specific things and that's about it.
Exactly.
Like this is
That's
my
what I'm saying.
primary service. Like I watch only YouTube for the most part.
So that's what I'm saying. Like you're a different type of YouTube. Like
Yeah,
there's
exactly.
people who use it for
We read
content.
you, Echo.
Yeah.
Command.
Where I'm using it more as like an informational tool. Because
Yeah.
it's both. Like it's totally both.
Definitely.
But there are a lot of people I feel like who are using it, especially more of the videos I'm watching where it's like you're trying to add your own like flavor and like info or just commentary on stuff, which is why I might actually like follow you as a content creator, even though I don't do that very often on YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, and I do follow you on YouTube just because you're my friend. But,
I appreciate it.
but you can shoot these banshees, or are you doing something?
Sorry, I was looking at my phone.
Oh, you're good. But yeah, like a lot of times when I'm just like, where is this object in this game? I think videos like and subscribe, and all they're doing is like running through a level so you know exactly where to find the next thing.
Yeah, that's not something that I would watch.
You're not offering anything unique to me that
Yeah.
I want to go watch the rest of your videos. You know?
It's like, I think I was saying this the other day, but I really like watching people play through the game I'm playing through. And that's part of who I want to appeal to.
Well, so I was gonna say, like you're talking about the video that you got that got a lot of views.
Well, that,
I
yeah,
think
that's a short clip.
But that's a short clip of a game that, like, Overwatch 2 basically just came out.
Yeah,
you know?
100%, yeah.
So, like, that's, like, a popular, like, just a trending
Yeah.
topic or whatever. Like,
And, well,
that's
now
the
that...
type of where you should be making content towards.
Yeah. And as long as I can keep my schedule pretty open like I have been, when new content comes out, I'm pretty free to, like, be on the ball with it.
Did me crashing into that space shuttle move it a little bit, or am I just like, hi?
It did not move it.
Okay. Like, it looked like I, like, slightly punched it. I was like, huh. I
It
don't
might
know
have been
if you
the
do
new
that.
graphics. The new graphics kind of fuck up like
That
that.
might have been what it was. And I mean, maybe it was an intentional part of the graphics, so this would be cool.
I mean, honestly,
kinda doubt it.
Hiding in the hills.
The game is easier in the old graphics. Because you can fucking see.
Yeah, that's another thing sometimes about high graphics. Back to our earlier conversation. Sometimes it's too much, man. There's just
Yeah.
too much going on. Like, I can't, like, I don't need to see all this high detailed grass.
Especially
I
in
need to see the
multiplayer
aliens they're
games.
shooting at.
What are you why did you bring us here?
I did not mean to get that deep into the shit, dude. I'm sorry.
Oh, at least
I
you
was kind of
lived.
switching between graphics to see what it looked like, and I got a little carried away with what I was doing driving.
Oh, wrong
That's
seat.
it. I'm leaving this abusive relationship. You can drive yourself.
I didn't actually shoot you.
Did I shoot you? It looks like I just hit the warhog.
No, you hit
Oh
me.
yeah, you're flashing. You lost your shield.
Alright, they all got dropped off.
Alright, now I'm gonna kind of go into the midst of it, but I'm gonna go quickly through it. And circle around a little bit.
Perfect.
Ah!
Semi-perfect.
Not as smoothly as I intended. But, you know, we're getting there. Things are happening. A lot of elites up in that little, like... That's also what I didn't realize, like, as I drove in there, like, 3 elites jumped out. Like, I thought there was, like, 1 in there. Like, if I had known there was that many, I wouldn't have gone as hardcore forward. There's also some slipping in behind us. Looks like there are Marines that get killed. They're still even alive. It looks like they are.
Yeah. I mean, the strat is to just kill them and move on.
Blah, blah. I would guess, yeah.
I'm not, I mean,
That's
obviously,
like-
I don't want to do that
Yeah,
right
we're
now.
not doing
but
that. If you're doing like a speed run,
Yeah.
sure. Or if you're doing like lasso, yeah, that's probably easier. But not
Lasso,
sometimes-
it's a soft A, Roy. Come on. Come on.
Okay, sorry, I didn't realize there was an official pronunciation to it. I'm just gonna go tell Broncos Nation about what you said
Don't do it.
to me.
Dude, Russell's getting roasted, speaking of which.
Dude, I don't know, like,
It's just because of how much money he made doing it. If his contract wasn't $250 million or whatever, people wouldn't care so much.
well, that's not his fault.
Yes
If
and
someone
no.
comes up to you and they're like, I'm gonna give you $250 million, even though you
I
made shit yet,"
guarantee
are you gonna be
you-
like, no?
That's not how it
Stupid
went.
of you guys, why would you waste your money like that?
That's not how it went. It was a negotiation. And they...
Oh, sure. But they should have, you know. as
Which
part of
means that his
negotiations, they
team
could have
started
said,
higher
we
than
want
that.
to see you play one regular season game at least before we agree to any terms. I feel like that's a pretty fair negotiating point.
Or, like, less money up front.
Yeah, we're not going to give you that much money unless you play a game first. You know, like,
Let me go
if
get
you
my
want
sniper.
a bunch of money up front, then it's not going to be that much. Because, guess what? They haven't seen you play a real game yet
Yep.
in our uniform. But, like, honestly, we already had him for at least a year. You know? Like, wasn't going to go anywhere else for, you know? Like, they didn't need to do that right away. I blame the front office more than Russell Wilson
Yeah.
for that.
We traded a lot. No, for sure. He's
That's
just
it.
the base of it.
Also finding out that he has a shoulder injury in the last 2 games and had that
Yeah.
procedure for it. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, well, that kind of explains why he was playing so shittily.
Hopefully.
It's one of those...
It also could
situations
just be
where
one of those...
maybe-
Secured the Pillar of Autumn's crash site.
Alright, go ahead.
I was gonna say, it also could just be, like, an excuse.
It could be. I'm just saying, it does make more sense knowing he was playing injured. Like some
Yeah.
of the decisions he made.
So we can link up with
We'll
the
see.
survivors.
It also is another
Survivors
questionable
detected.
front office decision where,
Concealed in
like,
the
don't make the
frost.
mistake that, like, you know, like Vic Fangio made after Drew Lock talked shit about him once, and he would never let him go on the field again, basically, unless he didn't have a choice.
That's fucking so petty.
I mean, am I wrong though? Like after it wasn't even Drew Lock.
What did he say?
It was after the whole COVID situation. All 3 of our quarterbacks got caught.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Like,
Got
after
caught.
that-
Caught it, you mean?
I mean, not even get caught.
They got caught by
They didn't-
COVID.
They didn't even get COVID though, dude. They just got caught not having their masks on near someone who might. And the NFL
Oh.
decided to punish us as a team, even though at the same time they were rescheduling the more favored teams like left and right.
Yep, I remember that now.
That was like NFL politics.
That's the
honestly.
season that I
pissed me off.
paid no attention to.
That's the asterisk season, dude. Like
Yeah.
people will say it isn't. Like it is, dude. Like that was the weirdest freaking season. The NFL was clearly catering to the teams they liked because they would reschedule backwards and forwards
Yep.
to make sure Tom Brady didn't have to play, like got to play even if he maybe had COVID. I don't remember which quarterbacks. I think at one point it was Tom Brady, but
A whole bunch of athletes got COVID.
there were a few teams where they rescheduled backwards for, but then they decided to. Not even all of our quarterbacks had COVID. They just maybe have their masks off near a quarterback who maybe did have COVID. Actually, I think he did have COVID, but still, you know, like they didn't test positive or anything, and they instead of rescheduling or anything, they made us play with our wide receiver, who's not even a starter as a receiver, playing as quarterback.
Oh, God.
Do you remember that?
Say that again. I'm sorry, I was distracted.
Then they made us play. We played our wide receiver, who's right now even on the practice squad half the time. Like he's not even one of our main players. But he played as quarterback for a game because of it.
Oh, was that,
No other quarterback. That's Kendall Hinton.
Okay, yeah.
Who at least he got in the Hall of Fame for it at least.
That's hilarious.
Right? I mean, kind of. It was also stupid and frustrating.
Well, sure, yeah. Like I said, I don't remember any of this shit, really. Like, it's kind of fuzzy when you're talking about it, but...
I don't know. It's annoying to me because I feel like for years the league has kind of shed on the Broncos. And now this year they finally gave us a chance and like bought into the hype, and now they're gonna never do that again.
It's
How
true.
badly we've started off. Like
That's
even
true.
if Russell Wilson turns around and has the like same season that Peyton Manning had the first year he was with us, I feel like they still just like Broncos suck, Broncos suck, Broncos suck.
Probably. I want Von Miller back.
Yeah.
I
Like,
miss
we had
Von.
to win the Super Bowl for them to stop talking about how we sucked, and then we immediately started sucking again. So it's
Yeah.
just like, ah.
I'm just gonna let our friend up here take care of everybody. He's literally taking out all the grunts that run over here.
For him. I don't know. I guess back to Russell Wilson. I just think that he is getting a little bit of a bad deal right now. Like,
Sure, I do not feel bad for him at all though, because he's making
No.
stupid money.
oh, I'm sure he doesn't feel that bad either, honestly. But, I'm just saying, like, I think he's getting a little more hate than he actually deserves.
Yeah. He does look like shit though. And like the
He did.
thing is, we traded so much
We kind of
for
gave away
him.
a lot. for
He's
it, yeah.
supposed to fill that void. And so far he's looked worse than
Well,
the
he
other
was supposed to turn us
quarterbacks.
into a contenders overnight.
Yeah.
I was reading this
Which
thing
I didn't
about
necessarily
how
expect
it-
that, but like
So basically, if you look at Hackett and his coaching style, it's actually very different from the way that Wilson plays his quarterback.
Pete Carroll.
And yeah, well, and I think that when they got Hackett, they really still thought they were going to get Aaron Rodgers, and then that would have gelled as an offense immediately.
Yeah.
And now they're stuck in this situation where they like Russell Wilson and Hackett have to find this middle ground, and they're not. So there's still some hope that if they find that middle ground, we'll see what we've been expecting. But like every week it gets more fleeting for sure.
That Colts game was just like
That was bad.
so hard to watch. If I hadn't been at the game, there's no way I would have watched all of it.
But you probably would have been like me at least, where you're like on your Switch through half of it. Like I had it on in the background, but I wasn't
True.
paying attention.
I've been playing a lot of my Switch recently.
That's why the Switch is great, man. It's like, I don't want to turn off this game. Like, it was still a close game the whole time. I was like, hey, like, anything can happen. Like, they're going to win. I want to see it.
It should have been a win.
Right. There are a few moments where it almost turned into a cool game. Or at least where they had, like, a good drive that I didn't exciting touchdown. You know, you're just like, sweet, you know.
Yeah.
I was waiting
There was
for
that
those moments.
one. The main thing I remember at the game in terms of like getting hype was that one pass where our receivers ran into each other. It was like, yeah.
I'm dead, by the way. Or where?
Got you back.
Thank you.
All you had to do was say something, and it brought you back. I literally didn't do anything.
I think you just killed enough guys, honestly, was what it was.
Probably. Still an elite right here.
Oh,
Fucking
shit, there's two elites.
tree hitbox, dude. I hit this guy with all the hot plasma, dude. God damn.
Dude, I mean, I already hit him with a charge full. Like, the shields were down, so you should have been able to finish him off
Yeah.
much easier than that.
New traffic on the Covenant BattleNet. I found Captain Keyes.
God damn, we are
He's
rolling
on a
this
Covenant
shit.
cruiser, the Truth and Reconciliation, a ship I disabled before
All
I
right.
abandoned the Autumn.
We are.
The Truth and
I mean, the first
Reconciliation
level's pretty
touched down on
quick,
a desert
and then,
plateau
I mean,
roughly
this level is
300
very
kilometers upspin.
procedural. You know what to do.
That's true.
There's our ride. Get aboard and let's get out of here.
So I have to say, I feel like this game might hopefully be the game that helps us turn the season around, or it'll just be another nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
But we ought to see people to beat the Chargers even when we suck. And if we could beat a divisional rival that's got like a good young quarterback,
And our defense is obviously capable.
our defense is good. It's the offense that we figured out.
So how do we get inside the ship if it's in the air?
Like,
Shoot me a rifle, not wings.
There's a
when
gravity
we
leg
play
that varies
the
distance
when we
of
played the
time between
49ers,
ship and
dude,
the surface. That's our ticket
like
in.
the defense won
Once
that
we get
game.
inside the ship,
Like
Yeah.
they kept
we'll
us
be
in
able
that
to
game
lock
long
onto
enough
the
that
tracking
Russell
signal
Wilson
from
finally
Captain
got
Keyes'
some
neural
something
implants.
under his feet and made some plays and got
Hit
some
'em,
the
Marines.
touchdown.
Go, go,
I was
go.
gonna,
Corey
and the
Payne's
fact
by
that
the
their
hour.
offense was just as
To the higher
inept as
ground to the
ours.
right.
Yeah,
Should be
I
able
mean
to
that's
recon
true
the
too.
Covenant position without being spotted. I've detected Covenant stationary guns near the next pass. I recommend using your sniper rifle to take
But,
out the gunners while
yeah,
I
the
call for
Colts
Marine
offense was
support.
pretty much as inept as ours, and we still managed to lose that one. So,
The Master Chief is going
It's
to
true.
covertly take out as many
and
of
that's
the Covenant as
because
he can.
Russell Wilson couldn't
Don't
get
open
his feet
fire
under
until you
him.
hear the enemy return fire on us. That should let us keep the element of surprise.
I guess that's why it gives me a little bit of hope knowing he was playing injured. When he wasn't injured, he was able to pull something out of his feet to get us a W.
It's true.
But the injury happened during the Raiders game, and we've sucked since that. Like, it's just not looked good since then. Admittedly, I didn't watch the Raiders game at that wedding, but
I didn't watch the Raiders game either. I didn't feel very good that day.
dude, there was a guy behind me at the wedding who was watching the game in his like lap during the ceremony.
I don't
I
blame
was like,
him.
really? But for that game,
Yeah,
I was like, that's a little disrespectful, bro. Like,
but it's like we were saying, dude. So is putting your
kept it so
fucking
short.
wedding.
I didn't know it was gonna be the Raiders game when they scheduled it. Dude.
They knew it would be a Broncos game though.
Not even. I mean, they should have guessed. But I honestly don't know how much you get away with telling your wife to be. Our wedding, we can have a fall wedding as long as it's on a Sunday, a Thursday, or a Monday, just in case there's a Broncos game that's important.
That
day.
leaves 4 other days.
I know. Well, also Susanna is a Broncos fan, so like she should have maybe. I'm just saying, like, dude, that was my favorite. One of my favorite parts about that wedding is they kept it short and sweet.
Nice.
Right? Her brother talked more than they did, and he was officiating the damn thing, so kind of had to. Like, but yeah, like if you could have missed 20 minutes and then been watching during, like, because after the wedding, all the family important people went off and were taking photos and stuff. So you could have just gone and watched and like. I mean, everybody turned around after as soon as it was over and was like, "What's the score?" So, but I mean, you know, we were all updating each other all night. Like, ah, shit. Like, oh, we tied it up. Oh, we tied it up. Oh shit. Oh shit.
The plasma pistol has drop. I don't think I ever realized.
I didn't realize it did it this game. I know it does in other games, but I didn't think that it did yet.
It's
That makes
insignificant.
sense.
Watch out.
Thank you for the warning.
Definitely. I didn't expect you to jump over
right
me.
into that explosion. I'm not a grenade. I'm kind of trying to like gun him down, you know. Watch out!
There's gotta be a way to get up here, right? Can't you just climb up here? Yeah.
Keep going around this way.
I
I
shouldn't
mean,
have gone
yeah,
up here.
probably.
There's a bunch of enemies right here.
Yeah. Bunch of running right here. Are you alive?
Yeah.
Ah, it's that grenade. So, I told you I've been rereading Lord of the Rings, right?
You did not.
Yeah, I've been reading Lord of the Rings. I've been listening to the audiobooks, but
Same thing.
yeah. First of all, I'm gonna say, I didn't realize how much they changed to make the movies.
Oh, so much. Yeah.
So much. Which makes me think some of the people whining about the new series have no ground to stand on.
Well,
It
I
just
would
makes me,
say
it's like, okay,
comparing the two is disrespectful in my opinion, because the original Lord of the Rings are fucking
I love those movies.
quality.
I'm not talking shit about them.
No, I know, I'm just saying, like, the new Lord of the Rings show is nothing compared to them in terms of writing and actors, and I don't know, at least from what I've seen. I could be wrong. But...
Yeah, I would definitely say. I mean, they got some phenomenal actors and stuff. And honestly, as much as they change in the movies, it kind of very much stays true to the main story that Tolkien tells.
Fair enough.
Although, Tolkien's family really did not like the movies.
Yeah, you've said that.
They didn't want Peter Jackson to make the TV series. They don't like the Hobbit, especially. That's not even the original movies.
Yeah, the Hobbit movies aren't all that great. I'd say they were
me,
fun though.
It goes back. I watch them. They're just like they're never gonna be like cinematic masterpieces, and like, they probably should never have been. So that's fine.
Yeah, they don't need to be.
Like, it's kind of crazy that the Return of the King won as many awards as it did.
It's all like, I don't know.
To me, it reminds me though of what you were saying about the Super Mario movie, and how that guy you were listening to or reading, I forget, was talking about how when they made the original like game and the voice came out, the original voice actor, everybody thought that voice was weird.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, exactly.
Like, they're like, what is this? Because Mario didn't speak for a lot of games before he finally did. He was just a weird little blue overall guy on your screen.
Yeah, it's all expectations.
Right. So, like, it's like people are saying, like, oh, I'm this hardcore fan, when all they really are is, like, fans of the movies. And, like, they're not actually going back to the source material, even though they claim to be.
I think it again goes back to the way
you see that
it's being handled. It's like the new fucking Black Velma, dude. That shit's so stupid. They also, I think they made Shaggy black as well. It's unnecessary, and it's the way they attack the fan base when they do it.
For me, I don't know why you would care if they make a character black. It's attacking the fan base for, like, if they're like, I don't know if I like this, and you're like, well, you're.
If you did the other way around, you literally wouldn't be able to release the movie.
People would call it whitewashing for sure. But there's so many more white characters.
Why not make a unique character instead of just
I agree
race
with
swapping
that
a
too.
character that exists already?
I agree with that too. But
It's fucked up. I
people
don't think
want
there's
new characters. America doesn't want new characters. They want remakes on remakes.
Okay, but that's no
remakes,
excuse to race swap it. It's still a fucked up thing
But that's
to do.
actually, it proves that people want a race swap. Like, people do want, like, there's viewership for these
What do you
shows
mean?
more than there's not.
That's not
Dude,
true at
Lord
all.
of the Rings is killing it. They're getting better ratings than the new House of the Dragon show, which
They're
is a
getting
show.
better ratings in terms of critics, and critics are fucking shills. They get paid.
No, ratings, like Nielsen ratings, dude.
Oh.
Listen, I'm not, my point is, what I was trying to say, is I feel like you see a lot of fans who claim to be, like, original fans. Like, you see people in, like, Marvel movies, like, I can't believe they did this. And then other people are like, that's literally straight from comics. And, like quote the exact, like, comic, like, there are hardcore fans out there who know exactly which comic book it's from. You know, and they'll, like, source cite that. And I see that online all the time. And it's funny to me, because, like, the people who are like, I'm a hardcore comic fan, and this is fucked up. And then they're like, well, this is directly from this comic. It's kind of funny, like, that put your foot in your mouth, didn't you?
I can agree with that. It's
like,
it's
just,
extremely
you see that a lot.
hypocritical to do what these people do in terms, like, I don't know. I'm not saying that there aren't good aspects to the shows.
I don't think, like, if your only problem is that they made a character that maybe should have been black.
They also kind of
Then
ruined the character, and they claim that
which character though?
Velma. They changed her
Velma
to
from
be
the Flintstones?
No, from Scooby-Doo.
What? Like, I don't even know what that's about, dude. Like,
What do you mean?
what is her character? What does race have to do with the character of Velma?
Shit,
She's a
she's.
nerdy girl who hangs out with a bunch of hippies in the 70s. If anything, it makes more sense.
They made it about race. You make it about race when you race swap it. You don't make it about race.
Why does the race of that character have anything to do with the character?
What do you mean?
Why does the skin color of Velma have anything to do with the characterization of Velma?
That's not what I said. They changed the character, is
How?
what I said.
How did they change the character other than
Personality-wise, do you know who Mindy
How?
is?
Tell me the personality of Velma, and then tell me the personality of
You don't
the
know who
character.
Velma is?
I know who Velma is. I know who Mindy Kaling is, the actor who's playing her. I
Yes,
know nothing about
she's
the
not
actual character
Velma.
as far as she's
Mindy
concerned.
Kaling is just
Wait, wait,
another.
wait. She's just an actress. Of course she's not Velma.
Oh my
So-
god, dude.
Unless you can tell me her performance does not align with what the character should be.
It does not.
Okay.
That's what I'm
How so?
saying.
How does it not align with the original character?
They turned her into the fucking stereotypical, fucking.
She's a nerdy hippie in the original show, right?
No. I mean, kind of.
That's, yeah.
She's not really a
That's what
hippie.
Isn't she? I lost my glasses.
That's
Where are
correct,
my
but
glasses?
she's not really a hippie. She's definitely a nerd.
They drive around in a van called the Mystery Machine.
That doesn't
talk
make
to
her
their
a
dog.
hippie.
They're all fucking hippies, dude.
No.
Dude. They drive around in a van called the Mystery Machine, painted in different neon colors, and they talk to their dog. How does that not a hippie?
Cortana to Echo 419. We've reached the gravity lift and are ready for reinforcements. Copy that, Cortana. Hold tight, gentlemen. Bowhammer out.
Once we're inside the ship, I can home in on the captain's command neural interface. He'll probably be in or near the ship's brig, which should narrow our search.
Echo 419 inbound. Clear the drop zone.
Is this working?
Yeah, I can hear you.
We're in. I've got a good
Both
lock
tried
on
to
the
join
captain's
each other's
C9
party at the same
transponder.
time, I think, so.
No Covenant defenses to
That'll do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry if you lost your weapons. You died, and then I killed you a few more times, so I'd have a safe respawn point.
It's alright, I just needed to cool off, so I'm pulled off.
No, I'm fine, dude. I definitely.
I just know myself.
Like I said in the
gotta.
text.
I just remove myself when I get worked up now.
I feel you. I mean, it's kind of like, I mean, you saw, I had an even worse situation with my mom there, so.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you said, it is what it is. We don't have to agree on everything.
Honestly, I don't know what it is. I feel like everybody's just more pissed off. I know I am.
It's because of how polarized everything feels, in my opinion.
That's part of it. And I think it's partly like something about like coming back from COVID. It's like we want to
too.
pretend things are normal, and things just still don't quite feel. I don't know what it is.
In
but
my
I just noticed
opinion,
that.
the government has been extremely successful in the last 5 or so years at dividing the populace.
More so, but yeah, at least as timeline goes. But I agree.
Yeah, I'm not saying they haven't before, but like, goddamn, it's getting bad right now.
Pretty much since Obama got elected, and even before, because everybody hated Bush.
Yes and no.
Maybe
I
just
mean,
everything's divided always.
even
but
under Obama, it wasn't. I don't know.
it wasn't as bad with Obama. You're right, but
But everything's about like everything's so personal now. You can't like.
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I even noticed just like driving around, man. Just like everybody's just like I was trying to merge onto a highway today. It's like no one would like everybody in the right lane was just like
Speeding
closing
up and
rank.
yeah.
Yeah. I was like, guys, you're in the right lane. Like you have to let people in. And I noticed that. Like I realized that. I see that all the time now.
Yeah.
It's like in Colorado actually is ranked the #3 most aggressive drivers in the country.
Really?
Yeah,
Interesting.
that makes sense. Like I've actually noticed that if someone's signaling and you're kind of next to them, it's better to get in front of them than to slow down. People don't think you're gonna let them in.
Yeah.
I had a guy pull over and yell at me when I tried to do so. He was like, "You kept slowing down, so I couldn't get in." And I was like, "I was trying to let you in.
Yeah.
I was
See,
trying
that's-
to be nice, and now you're yelling at me. Like, what's happening?"
I was starting to be one of those aggressive drivers, but I realized it and I've calmed down a lot. It's so much better to just chill and drive.
I am and I'm not. Like,
It depends,
I'm not gonna be that
but-
guy who's like tailgating you and cutting people off. But if there's an opening and everybody's just sitting there going slow, I'm gonna take the opening. And drive
Sure.
Past everybody.
There's
Like,
a difference
what the fuck are you guys
between
doing?
being efficient in your driving and being dangerous.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I also feel like it's why we both got sick of our jobs. Just like everybody's just looking for something to complain about.
Yeah. It's very true. Especially because you get rewarded for it in those industries now.
Well, and also I blame social media. 'Cause you can also get rewarded
That
online.
too,
You know, you
yeah.
have that bad experience and you post it online, and suddenly, you know, everybody's got like, everybody's loving you, which is weird because it's like, it's almost people are looking to be the like. And it's a different way than a lot of people say it. Like they're looking to be the victim just so they can get like attention.
Yeah.
You know, like they want
Definitely.
someone like something controversial to happen around them just so they can be like, oh, look at me, I was a hero in this situation, or look at me, something bad happened to me and I handled it greatly. Like,
I watched this video earlier today of this lady who, with her young child in the car, who was like 8 or something, was like trying to avoid the police in a car chase. Like almost ran a bunch of people over, like bashed a bunch of cars, and like, yeah, a whole bunch of crazy shit. But the craziest shit, in my opinion, is once they got her and they had her out of the car, she's going, I didn't do anything. What did I do? Officers, what did I do? I didn't do anything. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? What?
yeah, like,
What do you
dude,
mean?
Like, there's a lot of clear evidence that you just did a lot of bad shit.
Yeah. Like, I don't care what happened before this altercation. You handled it very poorly.
That's a yeah.
I do not, like, I know cops can be complete jackasses, but... God damn, man.
I mean, it's like I pointed out last time. Like most situations where I've actually needed cops, they've not been helpful at all. But like, I've also tried not to like piss them off more than is necessary. You know?
Well, yeah,
like,
there's
that's never
such a
gonna
thing as
help you.
self-preservation, yeah.
Yeah. Even when I was like, there was once or twice when I was like at work where I was just like, you guys can just leave now. Like, thanks for nothing. But
Yeah.
yeah, like. That was when it was pretty clear they weren't gonna help me, even if they could have. So.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy what cops don't actually have to help you with. It's like, I watched this whole video about how this guy got stabbed, basically, like, in front of a cop on the subway. And the cop did nothing, and it was perfectly fine. That's what's expected of them, apparently.
So, apparently cops are actually not obligated to protect us.
Yeah.
I thought that was on their fucking, like, their mod to serve
Yeah.
and... What?
Protect, yeah.
Never mind, that to serve and air quotes protect. Like, yeah, that one was a little wild too, and I saw that. I was like, wait. That can't be right. Like,
It doesn't make any sense.
yeah, like, at least don't put it on your cars if it's true, you know? Like, that's... It's
Nope.
where you're setting those expectations where I have a problem. You
What
know?
seems
If
kind of...
you're just like,
Yeah.
we just mindlessly enforce the law and we don't give a shit about you.
We're
Great.
becoming more of a
Yeah.
police state. It's kind of scary, actually. You can get away
So-
with fucking literally murder as a police officer.
You know what people aren't talking about? And this happened a little while ago, but it was kind of shocking to me with how much people are talking about it at the same time.
What?
So, with all these police shootings on black people and minorities, and like wrongful shootings of police, right?
Mhm.
So I saw this video, it was a few years back now, but there's this guy in Arizona, white guy, playing Sonic something, or, you know, Sonic with his girlfriend, or like, I think it might have been like, I don't know, they were like playing Mario Kart together. It's late at night, their neighbors hear the noise and call the police. And they hear him, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna get you and stuff. So they think it might be like a domestic situation. These guys live in kind of a sketchy neighborhood of Arizona. So then the guy answers the phone. He's got a gun in his hand, and it's pointed down at the ground, like he's just got it in his hand. But you know, it's just the moment the cops see the gun, they start freaking out. They're like, "Put the gun down, get down on the ground," which he does. Like he puts the gun down and starts putting his hands behind his back. Before he can do it, one of the cops shoots him in the back. Like,
Jesus.
Guns out of his hand. He's trying to get down on the ground, put his hands behind his back, and he gets shot. He's dead on the scene. Like in the video, you can tell he's already dead. His girlfriend comes out, freaking out. Like, it's pretty graphic, dude. Like, I was kind of sorry I watched the video. And, like,
That's
sorry
pretty
if I'm
brutal.
describing it to you, and this, you know.
Oh, that's
But,
alright.
like,
I can handle it.
like, you know, like this isn't something that's just happening to black people. Like maybe it's disproportionately happening to black people.
Well,
but,
and we're
like,
just talking
it's-
about the United States
like,
when we're talking about
that
all this
could-
too.
Oh yeah, well, and I mean, like law enforcement in other countries, because it's either really explanation or just the will of a dictator. You know, like it can go anywhere in between. Like, but the United States is the one that has a big problem with it too. Like, and that's something like I feel like hits home to me. Like that could happen to you or me. Like I could be playing violent video games late at night, and like someone could think of shit was going down in my house.
Except I don't have a gun, but other than that,
No, but, like it's our right to own a gun.
I'm not arguing that
like,
at all.
All he did
Yeah.
was have a gun in his hand. He wasn't.
I'm just
pointing
saying
it.
that's the only
Like,
thing that would make the
It's
situation
the only
different.
thing that justifies it, but still, like that's.
Well,
just,
and I don't
like,
even
they
know
should have
about
given him enough chance to
justifies.
surrender.
Yeah.
You know, like.
Well, and there's plenty of
Yeah, that's what I'm
examples
saying.
of
It
that.
doesn't
Like
justify that.
there was that
Even
other
to a
one.
lesser degree, you brought up a few like recently that cops who left that woman on a fucking railroad track while they
Yeah.
had her in custody,
Yeah.
and they get in any trouble. Like what? At
That's
least while you're
insane.
in their custody, they should be responsible for you, right? Like.
That's
I don't care what
that
crime you
is
committed,
literally
you should
the
at least be able
law.
to get
That's
to
how
the
it is.
fucking police station.
They don't have
we
a-
all deserve our fair trial, right?
They don't have an obligation to help you unless you are like they have agency over you, which they did. It's fucking crazy.
Right. Like the cops who arrested the kid who shot up that school in Florida took him to Burger King because he was hungry. Like,
No, really? That's fucking.
yeah, that's fucked up, right? Like that's a
Yeah.
little weird. He just murdered like so many people. They're like, "You hungry? Do you want some Burger King?" Like,
Yeah, I would
But
be
at the
like,
same
you're getting
time-
jail food for the rest of your life.
like fair treatment, like innocent till proven guilty. Like that's you should be treated more like that instead of getting shot before you can even surrender. Or
Well, that's yeah, I
left
guess
on,
that's true.
Or left on railroad tracks after you have been arrested. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
And that
like-
lady was completely innocent. It wasn't even the person that they were actually looking for.
well, from what it sounds like, she maybe did some sketchy shit once the cops started chasing her.
Well, still
Even
though.
then, it's like you said, like yeah, like that's not like you should be held accountable for that. But still, you should get run over by a fucking train for that. Like
I mean, it's crazy that someone's so dumb that
that's
like
the other thing. That's what I mean.
but
That's our
someone's
law
so
enforcement who did that.
but like they're either so dumb that they parked it on there and didn't notice, or so smart that they got away with like assassinating somebody.
Yeah, basically murdering a petty criminal.
Well,
I mean,
maybe
she'd
it's someone.
survive.
Maybe it's
She'd
someone
survive
that
her
she
innocence,
fucking
so.
knew. I like.
Yeah,
No, I know. Almost murdered. It's crazy she survived.
So, I mean, I think that's maybe we were talking about something else for us. It's similar to that when in the 49ers game when God,
I'm dead.
Garoppolo, that's his name. Oh shit, I didn't realize that. I'll run back.
It doesn't
When
tell you.
Jimmy
in this-
Garoppolo threw a pick six, but it got negated into his safety because he ran out of the end zone.
Yeah.
So I think he was dumb. Like I don't think he knew he was gonna get picked off when he threw that.
Yeah, it was definitely
but,
an accident.
He didn't throw it intending to get picked off and have it get run back. But hey, like, you know, it saved them from the pick six.
Yeah.
It could have been a genius move.
It's true.
Better give up 2 points than 6, most likely 7, potentially 8.
Oh my god.
I'm dead, by the way. Like, you're dead, I'm dead. You, it's too late for me to tell you. Oh.
Almost.
I almost thought you were gonna make it, dude.
So
For
many-
a second, like you might get safe. Then it was the needler things, dude. They
That
built up
too.
too much on you.
There were so many people that spawned out of nowhere.
You were surrounded when I said I'm dead. Like
Oh.
you immediately got surrounded by grunts with needlers. That's why I was like, oh, it's too late. It's
Jesus.
too late. All right, to finish off our conversation and to round it out, and I think a way that we can both go to, where it's not as controversial of a topic. I think similar, like police should have like an agency solely dedicated to keeping them responsible and like looking into those kind of incidents. Similar to how the NFL should maybe have like more of a responsibility or like oversight to their referees. Like you need someone to watch the watchers.
It's true. But then who watches the watchers?
I mean,
You know
that's
what I mean?
that's hard, but like I feel like at least having that extra layer, like,
Yeah.
you know, especially within law enforcement.
But don't they have like
I'm just trying to switch this to more of a friendly football conversation too.
what's it called though? They have internal affairs or whatever?
Yeah, but those are divisions within the police station. So these are guys that know and work with the people that they're investigating. You know, they've got inherent bias. As much as you know they want to do their duty and stand, like, they're gonna most likely try and help out the guys they know or the gals, depending on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas like people have said like the Justice Department or something, like there should just be a separate agency that's responsible for this. And I kind of agree with that, like just more of an unbiased person who comes in and looks at these situations. It's just, that's why I compared, like the NFL always starts to say, oh, these types of plays are reviewed in New York. But it's like you should also have like, you know, when those plays that aren't reviewed in New York, like maybe New York should still hold those refs accountable when they make a bad call.
Yeah.
And I know there's a debate about how it's hard to find refs, but honestly, like, I'd rather have fewer refs than corrupt refs. Like,
I agree
I'll
with
do
that.
Friday Night Football, you know, like, fuck it.
I'll be a ref, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. I think there's lots of people who would love to be an NFL ref. Like, start a training camp, you know? Like, I'll go be a ref. Fuck yeah, dude.
The only thing
I won't even sue when I get run over by a linebacker.
Yeah.
I'll just fucking take it.
I'd be nervous
Both sides
about
at the same
people
time.
approaching me to like fix games and shit. That's the only
That,
thing.
yeah. Or fans afterward being like, how dare you call that PI?
That too,
Like,
that
it's
too.
just the call, like. But from what I, like, they were kind of like, kind of just
They were
anonymous.
what?
Like, obviously you know their names and stuff, but like, it's hard to find information about them. And
Yeah.
protected as they leave and stuff, you know, like they're not just like walking out in their like uniform.
I
That's
googled
all
the
the
average salary of an NFL official and it said 200,000.
Yeah, and most of them use it as a part-time job because it's only a few nights a week. Like, dude, I would do that as a full-time job. Like, that's the other thing. You start getting high people who are just doing it for real, and you can send them across the country.
Yeah.
So,
I think I'd be good at commentating football too.
better than most of the guys, dude. Holy shit.
I can agree with that.
When they're
Some of
not
the
saying
stuff they
something-
say.
I mean, when they're either saying something stupid or just like that's gonna piss off someone. But even with that roughing the passer call that I've been talking about within the Chiefs game, you know what Troy Aikman said about it?
What?
I hope the NFL reevaluates their stance on this and we can take off the dresses soon.
Oh wow.
Which we can all agree with that sentiment, right? Like we need to reevaluate this. But do it, like saying that and then like say that. Dude, like everybody called him a sexist, which it was. Like
The way he phrased it, but the sentiment I agree with.
we all agree with the sentiment, dude. It's a bullshit call, and we need like unless the guy's maliciously trying to hurt the quarterback, like if they're legitimately trying to make a play while the quarterback still has the ball in their hands. I mean, yeah, he might have been fumbling it, but that's even more of a reason for the guy to
I mean,
make
it's
a play. I'm
it's
dead, by the way.
fucking tackle football, dude.
Yeah, and they're making a play on the ball while the guy's got the ball. Like,
Yeah.
if you've thrown it, and 5 seconds later you tackle the guy. Yeah, that's roughing the passer.
Yeah.
I can get by that. If you literally pick him up and throw him on the ground, that's roughing the passer. He tried to tackle him. He saw the ball was loose. He tried to get the ball, and they went down together. That's the way I saw it.
It's crazy to me
I'm
the
big, by
hits
the way.
that. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to like get you
Okay.
back, but
Just so you know, it seemed like you did. There we go. I don't know. That was just one that was stupid. And then the one
hits
on
that
Brady was also
receivers
stupid.
and running backs take with no
my
flags
God.
compared to that,
Yeah.
it's like, what
You know
are
who
you
I
talking
blame
about?
for that shit, dude?
Tom Brady.
And I actually have to blame the Broncos a little bit and Von Miller, but it's not their fault. You know what it is? It was Super Bowl 50.
The
We
Legion
scared
of
Cam
Doom.
Newton, dude. We blew up the Legion of Doom. And
Or
we
not
scared
the
shit out
Legion of
Cam
Doom.
Newton.
What did they call our defense? I can't
Orange
remember.
Rush. Dude.
Yeah,
Orange Crush.
Orange
It was the
Crush.
revival of the Orange Crush because that's what they called us in like the 80s too.
That's right.
But dude, Von Miller scared Cam Newton, and if you remember the next few seasons, every time he got tackled at all, he would complain about it, and they started reevaluating those rougher than the past because at that time they still thought Cam Newton was their like darling, you know.
Yeah.
They didn't realize that the Broncos had broken him more than just complaining about getting hit.
Seriously.
Like, he never played as well as he did that season after we beat him. Dude.
It was also that one clip of him not going for the ball.
Oh yeah.
It's so embarrassing.
Dude, I mean, then Teddy Bridgewater did the same thing for the Broncos. Remember that? God damn it.
I don't remember that.
There's a play last season where it wasn't a fumble, but like he threw a pick and the guy ran right past him. And there was a moment, you saw, he could have made a tackle on him and he just kind of like held himself back.
Wow.
And everybody, they said the same thing that they did about the Cam Newton. It was a business decision. He decided not to risk an injury instead of going for the play. And
Yeah,
it's
Cam
where
Newton
you
was
should-
playing in the fucking Super Bowl, though.
Yeah, I mean, if you're playing in the Super Bowl, you go for it. That's where Teddy Bridgewater it's just a regular game. Like, yeah, maybe it's better not to get injured on one play.
It's also
as the
so
quarterback, but you're also only Teddy Bridgewater, so.
it's so clear in the Cam
If
Newton
Tom Brady
clip.
did that, it would be different.
Well, it's so clear in the Cam Newton clip that if he had gone for it, he would have gotten it. You know what I mean?
Did you just look it up? Oh yeah.
No. I just know the
For a
clip
second.
very well.
Oh yeah. I mean, he was right on top of it. Like,
Yeah.
if he just dropped on it, I'll drop down, he would have had the ball.
Yep.
I still think we would have won, but it would have been a much closer game. Because I remember there was a moment like 4 minutes left in the game. I was like, we won this game. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna win this Super Bowl. Like,
Yeah.
Like you knew, like the game was enough. There's enough of a point difference where it would have taken a miracle for the Panthers to come back. And you could see Cam Newton, like he'd already given up. He was laying down on the sideline. He was like,
Yeah.
"This is over." Like he'd given up.
He
He wasn't Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes, where if it's Grim, be the Grim Reaper, 13-second drive. No, he'd given up with 3 minutes left.
such a classic story of someone who let the fame go way too much to their head and it just destroyed them.
Dude. Oh yeah. Well, especially that season, because they were like 16-1.
There's no way people thought we were gonna win that Super Bowl.
No. Oh, we were the underdogs, absolutely. We were seeing all the odds were against us. I was working at the service desk at King Supers in Denver still at the time. I had so many people from North Carolina come up to me because I was wearing Broncos gear, the whole full 2 weeks before the Super Bowl came.
Sure, yeah.
Like, they're gonna just stomp all over the Broncos. Cam Newton's gonna score 5 touchdowns. Because of how he performed in Super Bowl 48, I'm sure they were just like, this will be easy.
Yeah.
And it's like, you don't realize we learned our lesson in that Super Bowl. Defense wins the game, dude. Like,
Yep.
we got beat by defense in Super Bowl 48. We won our Super Bowl 50 with the defense. Like,
Yeah, man. That was such a good defense.
that was such a wild season, dude.
That was a wild
That's why
season.
sometimes I give teams credit. I don't even remember. I remember like every single fucking game that season being so stressful. So, like for most of the
Yeah,
game,
we
it was
crawled our
will
way
they even
through.
be able to win this? Like,
There was a game
some
where
point, the defense would get a stop or get a turnover, and like Peyton Manning would capitalize, and we would just be like,
yeah, there was a game where we had our backup quarterback in, and it wasn't going well.
What was his name? It was
I can't
like
remember.
a longer name, but he played. He played the Patriots in the snow and we won.
Yeah, yep.
And
But
I remember.
You remember
like,
that run from Anderson?
We were both so fucking nervous the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, and that game finished, and we were still like, I'm still stressed. Like, I did not think we could win that game. Like,
Seriously.
I don't remember the Anderson run, so remind me.
It was just such a classic run. It was right near the end of the game, if not like one of the last plays, and he ran it from almost midfield, outside run all the way to the end zone in the snow.
Dude, I miss CJ Anderson. Like, I don't think it was a bad decision when we got rid of him, but he was a cool running back.
I liked
man.
CJ
like, he
as
was
well.
Fun
Yeah.
to root for.
Yeah.
I just love being able to like CJ when you make a good play. Like, it's just such a good name for it, you know.
Yeah. He was one of my favorite running backs we've had in the last 10 years.
Also, I was sad when we got rid of Philip Lindsay.
Don't agree with that.
I don't disagree with the decision again.
People were
but-
cheering him at the stadium when we played.
Yeah, I mean, he's a hometown boy, dude. He like grew up. He went to like East Denver, I think, and then he played for CU, and then he immediately went undrafted to the Broncos. So like,
Oh, interesting.
Colorado will always love Philip Lindsay. Like, he could play for the Raiders and win a Super Bowl against us, as impossible as that would be, and like people would still forgive him. Like,
Yeah.
he'll always be a hometown boy to some degree. It's kind of how like people have nothing but goodwill for Von Miller. You know, like people were just like, as sad as we were to see him go, like everyone's glad to see him win a ring. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
That's just how it goes. It's not like he abandoned us. He was traded.
yeah. That's
You-
why when people talk shit about people who are booing, and it's like, that's the thing. Like, fans are true fans. They just expect a certain level of performance from this team.
Yeah.
And if you give that to them, no matter what else you do, they will love you.
Yeah.
Like, look at John Elway. Like, as much as people disagree with his decisions in the front office, he'll still always be a beloved figure in Denver. Like,
Yeah.
There's no getting
I
rid
mean,
of
his
that.
name is in huge letters right in the stadium. Right next to Peyton Manning.
Yeah. And he's got the number all to himself, which has nothing to do with Peyton Manning. He'd already given that number to someone else before he came along. He graciously asked to have it. Still, like, you know, like, Elway will always be a historic portion of this and the beloved portion of our franchise.
Yep.
As much as people don't love what he did in the last few years, his contributions to it.
Yeah, I mean, that's
And
just
you
how
know,
it goes with
he
a lot of
was-
older quarterbacks.
And he was, I mean, I'm even talking about more of him as a GM. But he was the GM when we won the Super Bowl 50, you know? Like, he did as much good during that time as he did bad.
Yeah, I would agree.
So,
Nobody's perfect.
it just goes to, if you prove that you do right by Broncos country, they will love you. You just have to prove that.
Well, and they even...
You have to earn that loyalty. And this team hasn't yet. It's all new guys. or
Did you
young
know...
guys been part of bad teams in the past, you know? Like, it's just... Sorry, go ahead.
Did you know that the Broncos Stadium has the longest running record for having all the seats sold out?
We did. I thought we broke that recently.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. They talked about it while I was at the Colts game. I didn't fucking know that.
I mean, I don't think anybody's broken the record, but our streak was ended, if that makes sense.
I don't think so, because they were talking about it at the Colts game.
Okay. That's cool.
God, I need a weapon.
Oh, so what it is we still sell out every game, but we have a lot of no-shows these days.
Yeah. There was like
You always get
2,000
no-shows.
something no-shows. There was
Yeah, no-shows.
72,000 something people at the Colts
Yeah,
game.
at least one fan will get into an accident on their way to the game and not be able to make it, you know?
Sure.
Like, that's just fucking probability. Or, you know, like...
And some
fall
people
off a
don't have
railing
people to
on their
give
way
their
up.
tickets to. Like, we got our tickets from someone who couldn't go.
I mean, I would argue you haven't looked hard enough if you don't find someone to give your tickets to, but...
That's fair, I guess.
Like, if you ever know anybody who's looking to give away Broncos tickets, hit me up.
Oh, yeah. If my family hadn't been going, you would have been the first person I asked to go with me. I guarantee
Oh,
you
I'm
that.
sure.
Yeah.
Like, I wasn't, like, when I said I was jealous, it wasn't that, like, oh, like, you should have brought me with you. I was just like, man, I wish I could be there, because that sounds really fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Like,
Well, even if we don't go to one this season, we can go to one next season.
I would still like to try. I'm still in the middle of jobs, so I don't know how realistic that is for me.
That's kind of where I'm at too.
Still haven't given up my room in Vegas though. If you'd like to consider that.
I'd like to have a conversation about it and see.
For sure.
See
I
where
just don't
we're
know,
at.
like,
I'm at the same point that you are, where it's like it sounds a lot
flight
of fun.
is probably gonna be really expensive, and then you're gonna have to have some money to spend once you're there.
Well, exactly.
Sure. The room, honestly, like it's even on me. You
I mean, I really
like,
appreciate that. I wouldn't want to make you do that.
I don't know. I'd probably be able to afford it at the time, but if I can, like I was planning to go alone, so
Fair
the room's
enough.
paid for. You can contribute. I won't say no, but don't
Yeah.
feel like you're obligated to. You'd have to pay your way for everything else, though. for
Oh
sure.
yeah, obviously.
Yeah,
your parents were beyond generous to let us charge all that stuff to the room though when we went before.
Oh yeah. Well, and they would buy our flights.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh,
my
yeah.
mom might do that for like me and Joel someday. Like, we talked about going back to Vegas. It's kind of my dad's place that he loved to go to, so I think
I
she's
gotcha.
the most hesitant to go back. But
And that's fair.
I realized my dad was the traveler. He hasn't gotten anywhere since he passed. I mean, part of that is grief, but like he would have been going like he would have been taking me or Joel or both of us.
Yeah.
Like if she had passed, he would have been traveling. Probably more so because he probably had gotten some life insurance money or something out of it.
Yeah.
I don't really know, but he knows
That
the
is
adventure
interesting.
for sure.
I need to do some adventuring of my own.
Yeah, it's hard, dude. It's expensive.
It is. I was gonna bring that up to you
They
though.
were retired and they had all that fucking money.
If you ever wanted to just like get out of town, especially right now while both of us are kind of open in our schedules, we could go down to Salida and stay at the house that my uncle owns. I'm sure he would let us do it. It'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I mean, I'd be down. I literally am getting like very broke at this point, so
They're getting what?
pretty broke at this point. Whereas like,
Oh, yeah,
my
me
budget
too.
is pretty much just for the essentials.
Oh, it
But
wouldn't.
I'm also
It wouldn't cost
applying
very
in
much at all.
lots of jobs. That's what I'm saying. I think it would just be like our own, budget for what we wanted to bring and do while we were there.
Mainly what we could do is outdoor stuff. Like, we could go fishing,
Yeah.
hiking. There's a whole bunch of stuff to do. Depending on the time of year, we could go, like, tubing for pretty cheap.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd be down. We're probably too late in the year to go tubing or anything, but like
That's true.
fishing and stuff.
That's true. As well as next year, too, I guess, but... Who knows what was going to be going on by then.
I mean, hopefully, like, I don't know what your plans are. I would say I would be more of a position to do stuff like that, even if I am working next year.
Yeah, fair
I'll
enough.
have money.
I'm gonna have to figure something out for a temporary form of income.
Yeah. Are you pretty set you're not going back to King Supers?
I haven't fully decided. Part of me wants to transfer stores and just like work at the service desk for a while or something. That doesn't actually sound
Dude.
very bad.
Honestly, I've considered just going and being like applying to a service desk job. I
'Cause
like working at a service desk.
It's easy.
I was good at it. Dude.
Yeah,
It's-
that too.
It's easy for some people like us. Like,
Yeah.
it was always kind of astounding to me, some of the people I worked with, and how hard it was for them to do that job.
Yeah, like Western Unions and stuff.
Yeah, well, those were fucking annoying sometimes. Like,
They
I
were,
get that. But they're also like, it's only because like if it's not working, it's usually because there's someone that you're like the person who you're doing it for is doing something janky.
Yeah,
you
that
know?
too. Yeah.
Like the Western Union actually, like if it's not working, it's not on anything you did wrong. Like that's I think, at least from what I remember when I worked there, one of the more consistent systems. Like,
Yep. But
If they
Western Union is one of the
didn't
worst
let you do
companies I've
something, it was
ever had to
because-
deal with.
really.
You don't
But
think so?
Honestly, Western Union.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fucking
like,
hated Western Union.
what aspect are you talking? 'Cause, like,
Like when I had to
doing the
call
money
on
wires?
someone's behalf.
oh yeah. I honestly kind of
This looks like
refuse
the
to.
ship's command center.
Because that's my point.
was
Like
my
doing the money
job.
wire.
Signal is
It's
strong.
like
It
if
must be
it's not
close.
working, it's like it's something with your transaction that's weird that you need to talk to him about and explain why you're doing this transaction.
Yeah, but literally my
Because-
job was to go over and make the transaction go through unless it was something super
Yeah, it's a head
sketch.
clerk.
But also,
See,
you
that's what
worked
I
in
think
Denver
why-
for a while, which I'm sure had more of that than Boulder.
Also, this is why I think I was better at that job than most people who work here. Is I wouldn't call you over for that type of shit. I'd
I
be like,
appreciate
no, the
that,
manager's
man.
not going to be able to help you with that. It's not on us. It's you're doing something weird, and Western Union is shutting it down.
Yeah. They
Like-
flagged your transaction, you call them.
Well, won't you call them? No, I'm not calling them for you. Look at the lines at the door behind you.
Yeah,
I
dude.
got away with more of that shit. For sure. Like I wasn't quite that, but I was like the line's too late. Like I don't have time to, like how
Especially
long
these
did you
days,
wait in this line? Like
they can't tell you. Like, they're not gonna fire you these days. They can't even staff a lot
Especially
of the departments still.
that's what I didn't say about King Supers. Is I'm sure you guys are going through the same staffing issues that,
We must
But
be in the
also-
brig. These look
and
like holding
your
cells.
properties aren't
There are
part of
probably
that, but
multiple detention
you
stations.
did get affected
Captain
by it
must
to
be
some
one
degree.
of
I
them. We
think
need to keep looking
you
for
just went through that huge union strike and like
Yeah,
negotiation.
that
King Supers
sucks.
is now one of the best grocery chains to work for. Is just an hourly employee.
Really?
Especially if you can get into one of those union locations. Yeah, dude, like they make more, almost as much money as we were paying people at the hotel. And in most cases, more. Like, and you get better benefits and better job protection and security. Unions are actually, like, if
Wait,
you have
where
a
am I
good
going?
union who knows how to negotiate,
Here,
like, it's brilliant to be under a union protected job. Like,
it's true.
it's like as much as, and if you work in a management position, you definitely develop a different viewpoint on it. But like, we talk shit about unions these days, and they're there for a reason, dude. Like,
Some
they actually really benefit
unions for
workers.
sure.
Some
Some don't.
I mean, that's what I said. If you have a good union who knows how to negotiate well and really acts on your
And actually, exactly, has your best interests in mind.
and I mean that's hit and miss, but there are still a lot of unions that are true to that.
It's just
in
weird
modern
how
era.
corporate some unions are too, you know?
That yeah, when some of them got really involved in organized crime, unfortunately, back in
That too.
the 70s, gave them a bad rep. But
The suit's still alive.
I'm just saying, like, if you were thinking about like just stepping back and being in that role, like, I feel like that could be a good job while you're looking for other jobs or like finishing school, you know?
That's where I'm at. Well, because what I kind of have decided is like, while I was making decent money and like I could keep moving up, and chances are I probably would have been promoted by now if I hadn't just stopped going for
Marines,
medical reasons.
lock and load your weapons. Let's be ready to move.
I don't want to do that, is what I decided.
Right.
So, yeah. I really hate
So, I mean,
the
I-
job.
Climbing
Well,
that
the
corporate
Covenant has us
ladder,
locked
like,
up in here. I
if you were
overheard
to even
guards
get like an
talking about
associate's
this
Look at his
business.
name, by the way.
They
Hello,
call
my name Keys.
Halo.
One moment, sir.
Did you
Accessing
see
the
that?
Covenant battlement.
I missed it.
Let's see if
Like,
it
are you
shows
in the
it
old
again.
graphics or new?
I'm in the
graphics? It
old
just says-
graphics.
It just says keys, and
See the old graphics? I never knew this when we played before, but it says, hello, my name Keys.
Is some kind of
like in front of his
one with vast,
the subtitles.
Like, no, like on his chest, like a name tag.
Oh, well, let me
The
look
Covenant
at
kept
that.
saying that whoever controls Halo controls the fate of the universe.
Now I see.
I don't think there's any writings on his chest. Like,
I'm
there's,
telling
like,
you.
gibberish.
Look at, just Google it.
Let me look at it when he's close. I don't. It's not that I don't believe you. I'm just saying, in the new graphics, I don't think that's there.
Ah, that's fair.
Also, I haven't gotten a good shot of it since you brought it up.
Yeah, since, there it
Here we
is.
go. No, it just says
Halo is a
keys.
weapon.
Ah, okay.
Covenant gained control.
Yeah, it
So
says,
in
hello,
the-
my
oh,
name
yeah,
Keys.
Hello, my name is Keys.
No, without
my
the
name
is.
Keys?
Yeah.
Chief, Cortana.
They did it to imply
have a
that
new
it's,
mission
and
for
they
you.
just ran out of space.
We
in
I
the
think
graphics.
I don't think they had room for the is what it was.
Marines, let's move.
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
It's the older graphics, so that makes sense because they wouldn't have had needed
You
the,
have the point.
Yeah.
power for it.
I think, that was pointed out to me in a video I was watching the other day. Sorry to cut you off.
No, yes, I was
We
done.
should head back to the
Give me
shuttle bay
like
and
10
call for
seconds,
evac.
then if you're ready. But
Yeah, I will also
Thank
be
you.
right back.
you might get a little ahead of me, or we might just respawn here.
Oh shit, there's elites. Kill these elites first.
Yeah, I'm already gone.
Alright, I'm back. You know what's weird? Are you there?
Yes, I am back. I had myself on mute, but I'm
No
here.
problem.
I've been back.
It
What is
feels
weird?
like as soon as I hit 30, I went through this, like, quarter-life crisis, or, like, third-life crisis, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. I didn't really care about what I was doing until I turned 30, and then all of a sudden I was like, well, fuck, I don't want to
Yeah.
keep doing this.
I definitely feel what you're saying a little bit. I feel like now that I'm 30, I realize like I am a real adult. You know, like there's no like hedging your way
There's
around
no,
that
yeah,
anymore.
like I'm not called young anymore, really, other than by people
Exactly.
who are old.
Yeah, well, when people call you young, they're just being condescending now.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like I'm younger than you, but I'm not like a kid anymore. Basically, what are you seeing this too with this?
Yeah, the
floating
pistol.
Okay.
You're not
'Cause you
younger
paused
than me,
it.
you're older than me.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm a few months older.
Oh,
than you, but
I see what you're saying.
just in general,
Yeah,
like you know, you get those people and like you're such a young person, and you're like,
Yeah.
well, I'm 30. Like, yeah, you're so young, and you're like, you're only saying that because you're 60, girl.
Exactly.
Like, shut the
yeah.
fuck up. You know, like
I'm young compared to
Just-
you.
just because you feel old at 42 does not make me young. Like,
Back in the
yeah,
day,
I'm
I
younger
was like,
than you, but
I
I'm
was
not some
considered
fucking
an-
16-year-old you can talk down to.
I was almost an elder back in the day.
Right. Well, honestly, even when I was 16, that shit pissed me off. Like, yeah, I'm a kid, but like, don't talk down to me.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, there's still
But,
a sword
like-
guard.
I was kind of wondering how I wouldn't respond. I was like, there doesn't seem to be anybody around.
That was weird. Yeah, he was
You
like
made it.
stuck on the pillar.
Cortana to Echo 419. We have
There's
a way
to glitch
Yeah.
this.
on the double.
You
But I don't-
do kind of realize that,
Negative,
like,
Cortana, I've been
there's
engaged
no,
by
like,
Covenant
when you're
Air
20-something,
Patrol.
you're
I'm
supposed to
having
still
a
be that young
tough time
adult,
shaking 'em.
figuring shit
You'll
out,
be better off
partying.
finding your
Yep.
own ride.
And you can still, like, party, and, like, you also have to kind of have shit figured out.
Air support
Yeah.
is
Certainly.
I
Or
don't
at
know.
least be,
Hold
like,
here until she
more
can move in.
closer to that.
I don't know if I'm upset that I didn't like become like traditionally successful in the way that people see it either. Like being a doctor seems pretty great in terms of how much money you make and you get to help people. But the other thing is, like, my uncle's a surgeon and all he does is work. He literally, like, he can't attend family events usually. He is always working.
See, I agree with that. Like, wow, geez, wow.
He just got melted.
Melted, dude. You can't even, like, strategically stand back and.
What is this
Wow.
checkpoint?
Dude, we were sitting in that empty room for so long and it didn't.
I
get to
remember
that
this
point.
being super shitty for checkpoints.
Okay. Yeah, so here's a great point that hits home for me, and you might find it a personal point. You know who was very traditionally successful, even maybe not so, but like ended up being my dad.
Yeah, I figured that's what you were gonna say.
Like, I mean, he was kind of like me. He was younger, like you. Kind of fucked around for a while. Like, didn't finish school right away in the traditional sense. Just worked some jobs. But he went back to school, got his degree, got a job. You know,
Air support is cut
worked
off. You
his way up that career
need to
ladder.
hold here until she
Met
can
the
move in.
wife, had the kids. Like, he did all that like he was supposed to eventually.
Yeah. I honestly,
And-
I think about that too. Your
As
dad.
healthy as the
told me
guy
about
was
that.
supposed to be, chopped out of a heart attack at 69.
Yeah.
You know what I blame that on?
Yes, Captain.
Stress.
There's a Covenant dropship
Yeah.
still docked.
We talked a lot about the stress of his job, of having to be like the guy in charge and managing shit. Like, and
Yeah.
even I think he did a really good job, especially later in life, about balancing that. And like, he retired earlier than maybe, like, he retired by choice before he was sort of, like, was forced out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah.
Because he wanted that free time. And like, it's just like, how worth it is that, you know? Like, just find a job that meets the needs that you want without stressing you out past the point that's acceptable.
Definitely.
And that's way easier said than done, for sure. You know, like,
It really is. It's most people don't get to do what they enjoy doing, and also make money.
Dropship is loose.
Everybody, mount up. Let's
Right.
get on board.
but I think even to a lot, like, some degree, my dad did enjoy what he did.
No, not necessarily your dad, but
not enough, and not like even people like I don't know, even people who have dream jobs complain about them, you know. Like,
yeah.
like celebrities and athletes, like they complain about their jobs.
Yeah.
I honestly get that with how much heavy like they go into.
Yeah.
But like,
I don't really want to be like, I don't know. The idea of being traditionally famous doesn't sound great to me anymore either.
I would like to be rich, but not famous.
Yeah. Give me the money.
Okay, if I could just be very quietly rich.
Just gotta rob a bank or something, you know.
The Covenant believe that what they call the silent cartographer is somewhere under this island. The cartographer is a map room that will lead us to Halo's control center.
Basically, like,
The island has multiple
be a
structures
Jordan
and
Belfort
installations.
without the
One of them
celebrity.
contains the map room.
But he's only a celebrity because he wrote a book about this too.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like before he wrote that book, he was kind of pretty anonymously.
Not to mention, then you now have to figure
But
out
also
how
not
you're
getting
gonna
busted.
spend that money. Yeah, even if, assuming you don't get caught. And the IRS just hired so many new fucking auditors.
That's where I'm at though, where it's like, I wouldn't have public spending that money. Because like, honestly, once I had everything I wanted, I feel like I would start giving money away. That's probably why I'm never gonna be super.
Well, see, the issue is though, you can't just like spend money that you can't account for. Is what I'm saying.
That's the other thing, and that's what he had was money he couldn't account for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. He was doing shady stuff. But that's the thing about those types of crimes. There's usually a way, like, especially if you've got an accountant who's willing to, you know, be shady on your behalf.
Yeah.
And you're willing to let them steal, you know, enough off the top. Because if they're shady, they're gonna steal. But that's, like, you could get away with a lot, and it might look good on paper.
It's true.
Like, that guy still has a lot of money. And I would bet a lot of it was not. Oh.
That was the
It's
Marine.
not made perfectly legally. You were right behind me when that.
It was the
happened. Are you
Marine.
sure?
Yeah.
Like, you know I won't hold it against you.
The Marine smacked you. I saw it. Yep. Get revenge. Here, I'll help you. Yeah. That's a warning.
Why are you so nervous? I got my revenge, right? It's not reason for you to be worried.
You can't get me. I'm behind a rock.
Oz, there's not a bloody thing. Everybody out, let's go, go, go!
Let's go, go, go.
Okay, let's move out.
Nice try.
Let's go find the map room that will show us the location of Halo's
You're too
control
close
center.
behind me. Alright.
Yeah,
I
see,
give up.
you know. Nope. Stop it. If I even touch you with this, you're dead.
It's technically a war crime.
Running you
So
over?
can't- No, pretending to surrender and then attacking your enemy,
Ah.
according to the Geneva Convention. Like what I did, not what you did.
No, yeah, I got you.
Okay, I'm actually done. You can stop running me over now. Ha!
Oh, nice try, nice try. It didn't even hit me, actually.
I don't think it registered in damage. Like my fist hit you on the screen, but yeah, you've watched the Clone Wars.
Oh, God.
Star Wars show.
I've watched what?
The Star Wars Clone Wars show.
I've watched some of it.
Okay. So apparently they commit hundreds of war crimes throughout that show, according to the Geneva Convention.
That's interesting.
Like multiple times they do what I talked about, where they pretend to surrender and then just like fuck up the enemy. Like, and it's
Really?
what people use as a kind of a like justification for like what Palpatine did, and
Whoops.
even later when in Last Jedi, like not that I'm defending the movie right now, but just that when Luke says the Jedi became corrupt,
It looks
like yeah, because they were literally committing war crimes left and right during the Clone Wars. Like it really was not the Jedi way, like at all.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like usually going over that rock goes way smoother.
Yeah, you'd think so. Alright, we're doing it again, though.
It looks like there is a path into the interior of the island.
There we go. Oh god, that's a grenade. Damn it, Roy.
So it was all my fault.
Yeah.
It looks like
That was actually the best run I had as far as actually being able to kill people with the gun.
Why?
Usually I get forced out.
It seems kind of random,
It does. I think you should just go around on the beach.
but that's not nearly as cool.
It's not.
it looks
You know
like
what's
there is
cool,
a
though?
path into the interior of
This?
the island.
Sorry, go
I
ahead.
mean, I said living.
Living? No. That's like
Like
people
not
who
dying.
say, I want to get there, but I want to get there alive. Like, I want to get there too, and I want to get there quicker.
Look, but if you die, you kind of lose all badass points, you know? Like, it's kind of the one key thing. You can do really dangerous shit, and it looks really badass, as long as you live.
It's
And
true.
you don't seriously injure yourself.
But
You
what
got
about,
really
like-
great? I'm stuck.
What about, like, Captain America guy? I got launched, dude.
Yeah, I got stuck, dude.
It looks like there is a path.
What
into
about
the
Captain
interior
America?
of the
I
island.
don't know, honestly. I lost my train of thought there.
What does he do that's so badass but stupid?
Oh,
Because
when
why
he
he's badass.
crashes the plane into the ice for no reason.
He lived.
He kind of lived. He lived in the way that all movie characters live eventually when they come back. You
I
know?
mean, arguably, that's the stupidest decision he makes in the entire run of his MCU career.
Yeah, it is pretty stupid.
Like, even later, like, Rhodey, I think it's a deleted scene, actually, but Rhodey calls him out for it. He's like, so you couldn't have just, like, crashed anywhere else? Or just dumped the bombs over the ocean? Or just, like, you hadn't crashed the plane itself? Like, they call him out for that later. They're like, really? Like,
I don't remember. So it is a deleted scene.
It must be a deleted scene.
Did you see
It
me
is
get
still-
that through here the first try, by the way?
I did see that, dude. I was kind of like, I was regretful that I wasn't still in the gunner seat with you. I died, by the way. If you get out of that little area, I think I'll respawn.
I have 1 bar of health,
Past-
so I'm trying to be
past the
careful.
tree. Oh, okay. Like, I think it's in that little chasm where they're mostly concentrated now. I guess I'm wrong, because you've gotten pretty far away. And I'm
There we
still,
go.
There I am.
I'm gonna go get this health pack real quick.
Fair enough. I think that was a deleted scene they really wanted to be in the movie. There's no, like, obvious parts of it in my memory that aren't. Like, you know, sometimes there's still something in there that's not CGI'd quite yet when you watch deleted scenes. Or even if it's really deleted, like, really just forgotten about, they're just standing in front of a green screen, you know? Like,
Yeah.
there's no CGI to it yet. So I have a question for you.
What's that?
Did you use Stadia at all?
I didn't.
Or
I
do you
know.
about the whole thing going on with that.
I do. Why do you
I think we
ask?
talked about this a little bit. I just like, I have a lot of digital games and shit, dude. It makes me nervous.
Oh, yes, we did talk about this for sure.
Yeah. But all mine.
Stadia
the
failed because Stadia was a bad idea.
Yeah. The closest I have to Stadia is Steam, which I feel like is way more of a, like,
I also feel like if
consistent
Steam were to go
company.
under, they represent different companies, right?
a lot of, like, well, and there's a lot of, like, you know, when I have a lot of, like, the Assassin's Creed games on my computer through Steam, and you still have to launch the Ubisoft launcher. I feel like Ubisoft might just be able to be like, yeah, we acknowledge you owned all these games.
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah. But like, I guess that's my point. Is Steam is far more established than Stadia ever was.
Well, in Stadia, like, I understand the idea, and it was definitely an interesting idea, but
What was the exact? I don't understand. Like,
it was
basically
to
just a platform, right?
it was to stream games. So
But
like
you own games through it to stream them.
that I don't know. I don't know if it was
Are
like
you
a
doing this
subscription
thing too, or is it just me who accidentally activated this terminal?
it's just you.
Hey. There we
Did
go.
you already
I'm back.
shoot the hunters with the pistol?
Yeah, well, I was going
Come
behind
over
that.
here.
And I tried to reload and I triggered it. The
Come,
hunters are still dead.
come stand on this. Por favor.
Oh, are you trying to get up out of the map?
Yeah, I just want to get up there. For the video.
Yeah.
Stand on the gun.
Hey.
Yeah. Okay, now I need to get on your head. Ah! Perfect. Thank you. I'll see you later.
Of course.
The new graphics and the old graphics, it makes this... You can't move around in the new graphics. Everything's just covered. It's like being in a little poorly rendered jungle. Alright, I'm coming back.
I mean, you see how level design improved, I think. Because there's less, like, holes and glitches in the map.
Yeah.
Which is kind of a testament to the game developer's skill, you know? Like, those things should not exist. As much fun as it... Oh my god, dude. As much fun as it is for us as gamers to see that stuff.
Yeah.
And exploit
now
it.
you're up
Like,
here. Up, I fell.
I accidentally triggered that terminal again trying to pick up my pistol.
Whoops. There's also that glitch on 343, Guilty Spark. If you remember.
Which one?
Where you just throw grenades when the cutscene starts at the beginning and it'll keep you in the Pelican. And then it'll drop you off,
yeah.
like, in past all the jungle stuff. Hey there.
Hello. I tried to stay on the edge and shoot in, but it forced me back out. Or I fell out. I'm pretty sure it forced me to go. I really was trying. But not fall.
We brought the Warthog and we didn't even use it. I kind of forgot. I mean,
yeah,
I did use it for what I brought it for,
I
so...
kind of thought that's why you brought it.
That is
and
why I
like,
brought it.
To me, this part isn't necessarily that much easier with the Warhog. Like, the
It's
level is not designed for the Warhog at this point, so...
It's true. Can't deny it. There's a funny thing you can do on the cutscene where, like, you know, you go down. I think it's in the next area we go to. If you go to the right, there's like a little cutscene where Master Chief walks out and like kicks a rock off into the nothing.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly how it works, but with the Warthog, you can make the Warthog push him off during the cutscene. It's pretty funny.
I didn't know about that. That's funny.
I didn't
I
either.
know about the cutscene for sure. Like, that's a, like,
Classic cutscene, yeah.
yeah, like you hit that cutscene a lot before you realize you can just...
Alright, these are mine.
Alright.
Come here, motherfucker.
I don't have a pistol anymore. If I try to pick up my old pistol, I trigger the fucking terminal. So, I'm stuck with the plasma pistol.
I still can't believe they made hunters so easy in this game. Like, what were they thinking?
I don't... It's another thing where I was just kind of, like, I feel like game developers have gotten better at their job. Like,
Yeah.
there wasn't
This is the
enough
map
testing, you know, like they didn't...
Analyzing.
They weren't fully realizing how much
This is a
gamers
security
will
override station for the main
explore and
facility,
exploit a
located
game.
somewhere else on this
You
island.
know?
It's true.
That makes sense.
Shut the system down so the Covenant won't be able to lock us out.
No, 100%.
We should now have access.
It's
to
like
the main
how, like,
facility.
TV shows
Let's find the
and
master.
stuff weren't anticipating the rise of, like, I don't know, they didn't think that we'd be able to just, like, access any media at any time and slow it down and, like, find... I'm trying to think of a good example, but you know what I mean.
So, I know what you're talking about exactly, and I have a really great example for it. So, I was just reading an article, because I've been watching a lot of Family Guy, about the cutaways in Family Guy, and their usage, and how they've contributed to the decline in ratings of Family Guy. And it was actually a YouTube video, but like the whole thing, got almost to the end, and I was like, wow, this guy's a fucking idiot, and I stopped watching. Because he had no idea what he was talking about. He's like basically trying to say the amount of cutaways they used Family Guy equivalents to their drop in ratings in the last few years. But it proved that he had no idea about the actual market of TV shows these days. Because if you look at what's happened in television with streaming, there are so many more television shows available right now than there has been at any other time.
It's true.
Right?
Yeah.
But Family Guy was a show that existed before the streaming services came out.
Yeah.
If you look at their first few seasons, especially like their, like starting season 4 or 5 through like 8 or 9, is their strongest. But that's when they have the most popularity, and for like Netflix and Hulu, and especially just like everybody was watching all their TV on streaming services. And when all the people started doing that is when streaming services started making all their own TV shows. There's now
Bravo 22 was
so
bringing us
many
some
more
heavy weapons. After I saw we were up
TV
against
shows
hunters, I thought
available
we
to
could
people
use
than there ever were.
Let's
I think
move
I already
down the
kind of said
beach.
that, but like,
Keep an eye out for
Yeah.
if you go
any
look
cargo
at
we
the
can salvage.
ratings that Game of Thrones got, as much as it was one of the most talked about shows ever, not a single episode ever had or got close to, or maybe a few episodes got close to the amount of viewership that any given like Seinfeld episode had.
Interesting.
Just because at the time Seinfeld was a primetime show that like everybody tuned into at the time,
Yeah, that's true.
as opposed to being able to watch at any given time during the week after it came out, before the next one came out.
Yeah.
So that's really where it comes in. Like, ratings in general for shows have gone down. And then this guy,
What? Roy?
hey, can you hear me?
Yes.
Sorry, my controller died. I had to switch the batteries. I knew it was coming, but it still took me a second to switch them out. But like what I was saying is, so this, I don't know if I dropped off, but this guy was
You
saying
said
like
this
Family
guy.
Yeah, he's saying that Family Guy has clearly lost all its viewership because the ratings of Family Guy have dipped, while the ratings of the Super Bowl have continued to improve over the last 2 years, despite all the controversy the NFL sees.
That's a really
And that
weird
was-
comparison.
That was where I stopped watching, because that's a really shitty comparison, dude. The Super Bowl is a once-a-year event.
Major
centered around
sporting event.
Centered around a major sporting franchise that is the only one that exists in the world. It's not even like baseball, even even though it's America's pastime, has a huge franchise in and of itself in Japan and in other countries.
In a
Like,
world where
as
gambling
opposed to-
is bigger than it ever
Yeah.
has been.
Right, like that's just stupid. Now, if you'd said Family Guy doesn't have the ratings that The Simpsons has, you'd have more of a point. But even that's stupid, because The Simpsons will always be the superior show because Family Guy ripped off The Simpsons.
Just a more apt comparison for sure.
Right. As hard as they try to be The Simpsons, they never will be.
No,
That's
but
also my personal bias.
I think they did a
But
good
it's-
job separating themselves, even though they
They
chose
have.
the
I
archetype.
mean, I've been watching it, and it's not the only show that's ripped off The Simpsons archetype. And Simpsons honestly kind of ripped their archetype off from the Flintstones and the Honeymooners.
Yeah,
So.
I was gonna say it's not the only show
like,
that
The
Seth
Simpsons kinda
MacFarlane
did it
made that
themselves,
technically ripped
so-
off The Simpsons.
I mean, every show he's made since is just ripped off Family Guy, so.
Pretty much.
like
But I've liked...
American Dad and the Cleveland Show. I mean, I guess the Orville is not a rip-off of anything. Except for Star Trek, but...
I want to watch that. I've heard that's good.
I haven't either, but it is a show he made. I didn't realize... No, you just went back.
Yeah, I went back to get
I
a
just-
Silver Shield so I can jump down.
Like you were just talking about how TV shows have to be viewed and received differently because of the streaming world and how it exists these days. And I just think that's true, and that to me was a great example of it.
Well, I
It's you
fucked that
can't
up.
say a decline in ratings of a long-standing Family Guy is into season 22, I think. That's impressive. The Simpsons was one of the few shows that did that before. As much as they can credit a lot of what they've done to The Simpsons, they also a lot of shows that tried to rip off The Simpsons that have not lasted
Let's
as
keep
long.
going
You know,
inside.
The Simpsons has been on
to
a
your point.
fat decline too.
Yeah,
if you
it's
didn't
actually
say that.
gotten better, I think, since Disney took over. Apparently,
That's
did
very
something-
surprising.
Have you heard about what they did with one of the most recent episodes?
No.
So it's a really popular fan theory that they kind of capitalized on, where since like season 5, there was a clip show where Homer gets put into a coma and wakes up at the end. There's a lot of fans who think he's actually been in that coma ever since, and that's why the show got so ridiculous and stuff. And they did an episode where he wakes up from that coma, and it's just like, what about all these wacky adventures they had? And they're just like, nah. And they even animated it like the old school 90s animation of The Simpsons. I
Interesting.
haven't watched it yet, but I've heard about it. I'm really curious too. And no one's sure if they're gonna like continue it or if it's kind of a one-off thing, just to, like acknowledge the joke. But either way, like it attests to them being like really creative and willing to go new places with it. And I think that's why The Simpsons has become fresh, or will stay fresh and become fresher. Is I think the writers have kind of realized they need to change it up more, and at the same time stay true to what we all loved about it. We
Yeah.
kind of lost that. You and I once talked about how great it was that they did those. This episode would start and it'd be about one thing for like the first 5-10 minutes, and then that would lead very naturally into something else that the rest of the episode ended up being about.
Yep.
They were so good about that and good at that for many, many, many years.
It's true.
And I would say, in even the more recent seasons I've watched, they've come back to that root. You know?
Interesting. I might have to check it out. I haven't watched any Simpsons in a long time, other than classic
will say,
episodes.
I'm biased just because, like, I really hope The Simpsons never gets canceled. I don't care if they're not good.
Oh, I don't hope it gets canceled. Yeah.
I will always watch The Simpsons. Like, I really, that's something that you could literally, you would have to go a long way for me to stop, like, think you've done wrong by them. You can do, that's kind of the beauty of The Simpsons. You can do anything with them.
Yeah.
That's kind of the framework of it and why it's such a good show.
It's true.
Did you live?
No, I only had one health bar, but now I can do it.
Alright, well, let me try, because I have full health.
You got it. Up, you missed it.
I hit the ramp instead, and I think that's what killed
Did I
me.
not spawn you?
No. And you hit the same spot I did.
What is this checkpoint? Oh, okay.
I mean, it's where we went back. It's where, all the guys are dead. We just have to go back to where we were.
Whoa! Whoa! Into the
So yeah, I
void.
was kind of thinking you had jumped down.
I did,
and
and
I
then
was
I
just
killed
gonna
myself.
Okay. That's why I went into that room and started fighting. And then, for some reason, I thought you followed me. All right, let me try.
I fucked up the
Dude,
drop with the overshield. Oh, I did. I
like I
bumped
did that
into
right.
you. I bumped into you.
I did it right, and I still died. I don't know.
You have to. Okay, well, I don't know. I made it the first time. Usually I do this with an overshield. I'm not alive.
Oh, I thought you had spawned.
What?
Well, there's probably still an overshield outside. Or no, wait, we're not in... Never mind. I'm thinking of a different spot.
Melee me. Thanks.
Of course.
Anytime.
I'll do
How
it
did I
again
just
if you
make
want.
it? I made it with less health than I currently have. Wow. Yeah, I don't know how I made it the first time, actually. It's easy with the overshield. Get out of here, Jackal.
Right? Like, fuck you, dude.
What are you doing?
Did he, like, notice me when I watched you jump?
Are you going?
Sure, I'll try it. Oh,
Wait, what about over
I fell off
here?
before I meant to.
What if I don't jump? Maybe that's the problem.
That's what I've been. Oh, alright.
That's
I
alright.
kind of pushed. Oh, shit! I just accidentally fell off.
Wow. Classic
Okay.
Roy.
So the checkpoint just definitely kind of just like, this is not where we had our last checkpoint, but it started me right in front of the door down to the next area.
Ah, I thought I had it that time.
You alive?
I am not.
Huh, it's not showing me that you're dead. That's weird. There you
It
go.
doesn't seem to in this game.
I want to try from here. Maybe this might be the trick here.
Ah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, here we go. I made it. Normally you don't have to go down that extra level, but I guess this time.
Oh fuck, I
Oh.
fucked up.
I don't know why.
It's the overshield allows you to get all the way to the bottom. I also
think
I would have
that's what
gotten
was.
it. I would have gotten it first try. But I missed this overshield you can drop down to, and it killed me. If you land on the overshield, well, you have low health,
that's
it'll
what it
save you,
is.
but yeah.
It saves you.
But I'm here now. I'm down here.
Okay, I went the wrong way. I'm actually behind you now.
Analyzing.
I went the way that's longer.
Halo's control center is located
We have to
there.
kill everyone on the way back
That
up
structure
anyway,
appears
so.
to be some sort of temple or shrine. if
I
I've
didn't run
interpreted
into
this
any
correctly.
guys. I just went the wrong way. What's even sadder about it?
Interesting. A shrine is an unlikely place.
How do you know we're here, other than the fact I just activated that thing?
Cortana to Captain Keys. The captain has dropped out of contact, Cortana. His ship may be out of range or having equipment problems.
He's getting infected by the flood. It's
trying.
fine.
Yep.
Let me know when you've reestablished contact.
I mean, I guess
Tell
that
him that the
he's
master
very
chief
much
and I
out of
confirmed
range.
the location of the control center.
He's not having a good time, we'll just say that.
Affirmative. Bonehammer
We'll never be in
out.
range again. Not
Yeah,
in any
he does
meaningful
not.
way.
Like, his story does not end well.
No.
Whoops.
For being one of the cooler characters in the Halo series, especially if you've read the books, these kids are really shitty at it.
It's true. Come here.
Like, he's kind of a badass in the First Strike book. Or not the First Strike, the Reach book.
Will you just stand right here for a second?
Yeah.
I don't know if I can make it. I made it! Ah.
I was crouched so you could get on top of me easier, and then I stood up. Watch out for the grenade I threw.
Ow. Why did you
Alright.
throw that?
There's guys in the doorway. At least it looked like there were.
I appreciate it. Now we know we can do that. But I don't know how much good that does us. There's a bunch of enemies right here, so.
Stuck behind you, so I don't know how to get.
We have to go
back
this way.
around. Yeah. You could have stayed up there, and I could have come around.
It's
and I could've
honestly
kinda
not
flanked them.
much of an advantage.
Hammer and anvil. I mean, that's like pretty classic strategy right there.
Well, that's true.
Divide and conquer.
Well, I meant like,
Like-
that door kind of
like-
sucked.
Yeah, but if there's some guy on the back end of it distracting them, that door
Here,
is much more.
I'm gonna build a giant wooden horse.
I mean, that's a one-time strategy that works very well. Like splitting your enemies between two battlefronts is pretty tried and true between multiple different.
I'm
games.
telling you, man. It's all about the wooden horse. Now.
My favorite is the condoms named after them.
That is pretty funny.
Seems like a really erroneous name. You know what it is though? It's because Trojans are famous for getting wood,
Ah, ha, ha.
right? Like that's a good one.
Yeah, it's
I
alright.
forget where I first heard that one. And I was like, that's the only reason that makes sense for condoms.
Oh, hello there.
Like, you know, whoever came up with that, like, the name for that brand, it's like, this is a great fucking pun. Like, when you get wood, you think of Trojans.
And not to me mention it kind of has a double meaning.
That's what it's the double entendre.
Yeah.
That's the only reason to name them that.
Yeah. I'm sorry
Why
if you
else would
said
you
that.
name your condom something that's stupid?
I don't know. There's some pretty stupid condom names. I can't
The
think
whole,
of any.
the whole story of Trojans is famous for erroneously letting things in when they shouldn't have been, which is the exact opposite of what you want when you're using a condom.
That's true.
You know, like, I mean, like Magnum, most people who use them do not have a Magnum dong.
But on the other hand, it's an object holding a bunch of little men, you know?
See, there you go. You're getting wood and holding a bunch of little men within that.
Exactly.
structure.
Oh, hey there, Hunter.
See, the double entendres to Trojan are what justifies it being a condom brand.
This Hunter fell.
And if
I fell too, though.
I got blasted by a hunter as I tried to
The
run
Hunter
away.
didn't die. What? This is our checkpoint? Here, boost me up again. Let me see if I can just run.
I'm gonna go around to you. Okay. Just hold the door if you can't do anything else. I'll be there soon.
Hold the door!
Hold door!
Hold the door! I really wish I had encountered that moment for the first time naturally in the book series, but...
Me too. That's why I was so, like, after at a certain point I stopped watching the show. I really hoped that the books would come out. And then I kind of realized that, like, I think this whole show's gonna happen.
That's
before we ever
wishful
get the book
thinking,
out.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was right. Like, it turned out.
Not like, dude, just release
I
Winds of Winter
Still
for the
believe
love of
that
God.
we'll get the book out. I don't know when that will happen. There's a lot of people who say it's never gonna happen. I think he's more motivated by how badly the end of the show was received. Because I think, like he said, he really felt like he got alienated from the end of it and doesn't approve of a lot of the factors that happen. And
Well-
not in so many that's outright.
And it's even like, even if what happens is what's supposed to happen, let it happen more naturally.
He can write it better than they did. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. The parts that will happen that maybe people are gonna like, I think, will be more palatable.
I guarantee the Night King doesn't die in fucking one chapter after you meet him, or like he shows up,
Yeah.
you know, like...
Well, also, there is no Night King in the books. Like, the others are a very, very different thing.
I guess that's
and
true.
I like them way better.
Yeah, I guess
Like,
that's true.
they're even the way they're described in the movie, the television show, they're just these like scary-looking zombies, basically, that are like less dead than the other zombies you see.
Yeah, but they're so cold in the books.
In the books, they're like a totally different alien species.
Yeah, that's true.
If
that's
anything,
true.
they remind me of like the astronauts in the like Skyrim, you know.
Interesting.
Like I always pictured kind of a flame astronaut, but more like ice-like.
Yeah,
Like
I can
that
see
kind
that.
of like alien species, like elemental. Ouch.
Stop blocking my needles.
Alright, I'm gonna somehow try to get around these hunters. I don't know how, but
Hi ho ho, hi ho ho. It's a good song.
it is a good song. But yeah, also though, there's so many plot points to the books that are still kind of in the middle that they
Yeah.
just abandoned as soon as they didn't know where to go. Like they didn't even try to do anything with it. They just killed off every character associated with that plot and moved on. And that was the biggest frustrating thing to me.
What's an
They
example
didn't try
of
to
that?
tell their own story. The Dorn, all the sea snakes.
Oh,
and the prince,
yeah.
They were gonna ally with the missing second Targaryen prince.
Yeah.
All the Krakens on the Iron Islands, their whole succession story.
A lot of shit, yeah.
Like that's all the most blatant. There's more. Brienne's storyline was completely altered, and like they dropped a lot of the actual stuff she goes through. And, like the fight with
Jamie
her
was
and the-
bastardized.
Jamie also too. Jamie and Brienne's stories were completely changed in short lines.
Yeah. I mean, they had like
There's
arguably
so
the
many
best
they
character
killed off-
development.
they killed off Barristan Selmy, even
Yeah.
though he's alive and is actually playing a way more political role in the books where we see him last. Like, he
I need to
basically takes
reread
over-
those.
He basically takes over control of City at the end of Marine at the end of Dance with Dragons. In the show, he dies before she even leaves the city. Like,
Yeah.
they completely were just like, we don't want to even deal with that plotline. So we're gonna announce that we're gonna just scrap it before we even get to it. Is how I see that. Like, you can tell, and that's why I did. Like, that was when I stopped watching the show, and then I came back to finish it when it was clear they were gonna finish it before the books. Like, they started completely disregarding the books because they could not figure out, and that's why he's had so much trouble, and now why the books, he's having trouble figuring out how to resolve all those plot lines and tie them together neatly. But he's at least trying. He's being creative with it. But you weren't gonna satisfy everybody, but what they did satisfied nobody.
Yeah.
But they
Well,
could at
and
least try.
The justice though is that they did all of that because they wanted to rush over and direct one of the Star Wars movies. And
yeah, but they did such a bad job, they got dropped from Star Wars.
exactly.
Like,
Good, dude. That if
Yeah,
they
you
had
don't
finished
get to
that correctly, that could easily be a contender for the best show of all time.
oh yeah. Well, and especially because so many people within HBO and George R. Martin even, and just like, basically every other person involved in the production of that was like, yeah, we would have given them more episodes and time and money. Like, they were
Why
the ones who
not?
wanted to
Yeah.
end it. Like, yeah, like they thought they did justice and wanted to end it there, and we would have done more.
I mean, Game of
And
Thrones
maybe
is
they just
HBO's
are
biggest
taking
show of
credit.
all time, I'm pretty sure, and that's saying something.
Definitely. And they have other good shows on there, but none of them has ever been as like popular, talked about the way that Game of Thrones has.
Yep, 100%. And it was just so well made. I mean, because the writing was so good from the books. It translated so well.
That's where it fell off, was when they didn't have the books anymore. That's
Yep.
why the new show is so good, is because they have a book to base it on throughout the whole plot, and they have George R. R. Martin as a showrunner to contribute to the whole thing.
Yep.
I still you've watched a few episodes, I know, but you should watch all of it. They're about to. I think the next episode is the season finale,
Really? Yeah, I gotta catch up.
and they're doing. It reminds me a lot of Game of Thrones season 1, where it's that slow political build, and then things go off in season 2. Like,
Hell
you
yeah.
get more of those battles and shit, and it's well done. Whereas like
Cortana to Echo 419.
yeah, look,
The chief
the
and I
Lord of
are
the Rings
topside,
show,
requesting
the
pickup.
last few episodes have been better and more exciting, but their slow build is not as like. At least you don't give them as much faith in it. I'm still not sure if it's worth it. I'm pretty sure the Game of Thrones will work. Also, you watch Game of Thrones for that kind of political, like, you're not watching it necessarily for like big ass action battles and set pieces.
yeah,
Which is why
but
you watch Lord of the
a
Rings.
dragon to show up every once in a while and shit, though. You know?
I mean, there's tons more dragons in this show.
Oh, I know, yeah.
So they're giving you that too. And even when they do have action, it's far more gruesome, I think. Like, and just cut to the throat. Like, it's a lot more cutthroat than
Yeah.
the first show was. Like, people will just get killed very drastically. That might be the only actual like brutality or violence in the whole episode, but it's way more to the point.
And realistic, if you ask me. I mean, in some regards.
That's my point about like when you watch Game of Thrones, you're watching it for that more realism. You know, when the violence breaks out, it's because all that political politics is built. It's not because there's some gross, ugly orc here to cut their head off, because
Yeah.
that's what you want to do to them. Like,
Or like this character got a brutal cut while they're out in the middle of nowhere. They have to worry about infection, you know, stuff that would like actually
Right.
be an issue.
a character dies from infection from a cut.
Yeah.
Like, instead of surviving like crazy explosions and stuff, and walking away barely batting an eyelid.
Yeah, exactly. Are you still playing for at least one more?